Cameras and video cameras are permitted inside Red Wilson Field for personal photos, but cannot be used to reproduce the game, players, or on-field events without the express written permission of the Yarmouth Tennis Red Sox. Use of camera or video equipment must not interfere with other fans' enjoyment of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Intern Appreciation Night. Our interns are an integral part of the YD Red Sox organization. These college students assist in all the aspects of putting on a baseball game while gaining knowledge and skills to assist them in pursuing a future career in sports industry. We'd like to welcome the game day operations staff led by Elaine Lacey. Beginning with the Major League Baseball Scout Liaison, Miss Amanda Taylor. Our head game day intern, Miss Samantha Tripp. Our senior intern, Brennan Mittendorf. And the rest of our very important game day interns, Pat Astro, Savannah Couch, John Cregan. Next, we'd like to welcome our media and marketing interns, led by our production coordinator, Mr. Zack Clapp. Our social media coordinators, Christine Bronsky and Danny Ustrich. Photographer, Sadie Parker. Broadcasters, Carlo Jimenez and Sam Lebowitz. And our writers, Dylan Wilhelm and Mike Hutzengero. Now I would like to also welcome our athletic training interns, Miss Ellen Adams, led by Maggie Johnson. Now we'd also like to welcome our special assistant to the president intern, Miss Caroline Wilson. We'd also like to welcome and thank Nick Fulgione, Michael Green, Brendan Hamilton, Cassie Lee, Thomas Levine, Max Mandel, Joey Miskelly, Alexa Reese, Joe Schisterek, Audrey Shapiro, Ryan Tarmy, Will Teixeira, Sean Roman, Sam Whiting, Taylor Wilson, and Zack Ziegelmeyer. Now we'd also like to welcome the special assistant, once again, to the president, intern, Caroline Wilson. And lastly, we'd like to welcome our analytics and baseball operation interns, led by Coach Pick. Miles Sieberman, Patrick Bauer, and Jake Heilman. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together
The Red Sox have stumbled out of the All-Star break with back-to-back losses to Katude and Wareham. But with a week left in the season and a playoff berth already in tow, the only question is when. When will the Red Sox clinch a division championship? It could happen as soon as today. The Red Sox welcome the Orleans Firebirds to Red Wilson for the final time in the regular season in 2022. Whitey in Orleans coming up next. And we welcome you into the broadcast booth. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez. We appreciate you joining us interns here on Intern Appreciation Night at Red Wilson Field. The Red Sox and the Firebirds getting ready to square off an earlier start time as we're on the other side of the All-Star break. 4:30 first pitch instead of 5. And Carlo, the pitching has not been the issue as of late really for the Red Sox. Last night a 4-2 loss in Wareham marked by leaving a lot of runners on base.
Yeah, Sam, 11 guys left on base for the Whitey Red Sox. 13 hits. They only push 2 runs across multiple times with runners in scoring position almost in every inning yesterday. Whitey had chances, just could not break down the door against the Wareham Gatemen. And give Wareham credit. They made a couple of very nice double plays, including one to end the game, and made it tough on the Red Sox, but they had ample opportunities to put up more than 2 runs.
After 2 consecutive losses, the Red Sox have Bryce Robinson playing stopper today. His finest start of the season came against these Orleans Firebirds, but a tough task. His opposite number was the all-star starter for the East, Bryce Warricker. Quite the matchup we've got today.
Hey, you get each team's ace, and what more could you ask for here on this beautiful afternoon at Red Wilson Field? Bryce Warricker has been nearly untouchable. Did give up a couple of runs to Falmouth last time out. The first time he had given up runs since his first start on Cape. He's given up runs in just 2. We'll see how he fares looking to bounce back.
Well, we've got Red Sox and Firebirds coming up. We'll give you the lineups and first pitch after we pause for the anthem. Thank you for joining us here at Red Wilson Field. First pitch coming right up.
High school junior, Miss Alexa Cohen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Nice job, gentlemen. Nice job.
Bryce Robinson taking the mound for the Red Sox as we get you set for baseball here at Merrill Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. It's the YD Red Sox hosting the Orleans Firebirds for the final time. A little home and home of sorts. An off day will split this game and the game at Eldridge Park on Friday as we are in the final stretch of the regular season. The Red Sox a chance to clinch a Eastern Division Championship today, but a few things have to go right. We'll talk more about that later. The lineup that Robinson will face for Orleans goes as follows. Luke Keishel leads off and plays center field. J.D. Urso, the shortstop, bats second. Cam Jones, the first baseman, bats third. Isaac Humphrey cleans up in right field. Jack Bulger, the left fielder, bats fifth. Drew Metzdorf, the third baseman, bats sixth. Garrett Gilmet, the catcher, bats seventh. Tommy Hoppe, the DH, bats eighth. And Logan Beard, the second baseman, bats ninth. Red Sox looking to break a two-game losing streak after losses in Katuitt and Wareham the last 2 days. And Bryce Robinson making his seventh appearance, sixth start for YD. Will be the man tasked with doing just that. Robinson has been a control freak out on the mound, just 5 walks in 26 and 2/3 innings. He's only struck out 20. The ERA in the low twos at 2.36. He'll look to actually get it back on the right foot after his worst start of the season for the All-Star against Harwich, who beat him up back on July the 19th. He gave up 5 runs over 5 innings, a game that the Red Sox came back and tied a 7-7 final. Robinson, the right-hander out of BYU, gets us set for baseball against utility man extraordinaire Luke Keishel, who started the All-Star game as the DH for the Eastern Division. 2 All-Stars squaring off right on right. The first pitch from the BYU Cougar is a slider that misses just a little bit high and inside, says the home plate umpire Tim Carey. We're underway. Michael Farnan, the umpire, down the first baseline. Edward McAvin down the third baseline. Robinson working from the first base side of the rubber. And the 1-0 is another slider. This one misses away. 4:32, your start time, just a couple minutes past the scheduled opening hour. Robinson will pitch to Keishel, J.D. Urso, Cam Jones in this opening inning. The 2-0, a fastball that grabs the knees for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Keishel, a .261 hitter with 4 home runs and 15 driven in. 2-1. High and in a fastball. The count 3-1 as we're underway at 82 degrees here in South Yarmouth. Sunny, not a lot of clouds in the sky today. A slight breeze blowing out to left. 3 balls and a strike. And a fastball that misses just low for ball 4. A leadoff walk to Luke Keishel to start the festivities today.
Keishel's got decent speed, too. 5 stolen bases for him and picked up one in that All-Star game. And we'll see if he's off and running. And Kelly Nicholson is a fan of small ball. Maybe we see J.D. Urso bunt to begin.
Urso playing in just his 10th game as an Orleans Firebird out of the University of Tampa. That's a Division II school, a 206 hitter coming in. Right-hand hitter, first pitch, a fastball that misses a tad low. The defense for the Red Sox, Fernando Gonzalez is catching for Robinson. Johnny Long plays first. Robbie Burnett, a new addition to the Red Sox today, plays second. Zack plays short. Mike Bovey plays third. Left to right in the outfield as they'll check on the runner at first. Keichel back in standing. Caden Connor in left. Homer Bush in center. And Braden Montgomery in right field. 1 ball, no strikes. To Urso, Keichel starts and stops, and it's hit in the air to center. Not deep. Burnett out. In comes Homer Bush. He's under it. Makes the one-hand catch, and that's the first out of the ball game. Brings up Cam Jones, who we get to see on the offensive side for the first time this season. Jones playing first base today. He's not yet hit in matchups between these two squads, but Jones has pitched 8 times on the mound for Orleans this year as a left-handed reliever out of Georgia State. 3 of those 8 outings have come against the YD Red Sox. First pitch to him, a right-hand hitter, and a fastball that misses a tad low. Infield shifts to the pull side on the rare right-hand hitting, left-hand throwing Cam Jones. A .322 hitter who's got an 11-game hit streak for Orleans. Open stance, 0-1-0. In the dirt, kicks away from Gonzalez, runner heading to second. Gonzalez won't have a throw. Keichel in with a feet-first slide. Short, wild pitch. And a runner in scoring position here in the first against Robinson, who's fallen behind a 3rd straight hitter to start the festivities. It's 2-0. Jones has only had 59 at-bats, but he has 19 hits, including 3 doubles. He's driven in 3 runs. The 2-0. Line softly over first, long out for a look. That ball lands just foul. Tim Carey, the home plate umpire, quickly throws his hands into the air to indicate it was to the right of the line, but Cam Jones nearly dumped a hit in down that right field line to the opposite field. Instead, it's the first strike and a 2-1 count to him. As a pitcher, Jones had been pretty solid for these Orleans Firebirds. 2.20 ERA, but he hasn't pitched since July 12th. And that's really the point where his focus shifted for Kelly Nicholson from being a reliever to being a hitter. He has started every game for Orleans in their starting lineup as a hitter since that last appearance. 2-1 is nubbed softly towards the mound, fielded by Robinson. He will underhand flip to Johnny Long in time. The runner Keichel holding at second.
Robinson a chance to work around a leadoff walk as he faces the only left-handed batter in the lineup, Sam, in Isaac Humphrey. And looking at the splits, there is nothing that tells you that Orleans hits better as right-handed hitters against Bryce Robinson, or Bryce Robinson allows righties to hit better against them. It's pretty even down the middle, but Nicholson going with the heavy right-handed hitting lineup.
Robinson has made 2 starts prior to this against Orleans. He's been good in both of them. Over a combined 10 2/3 innings, he's allowed 8 hits and just 1 run. His finest start of the season was 6 shutout frames at Eldridge Park on July 1st. First one to Humphrey. Slider that drops in for a called strike, 0-1. That was really the pinnacle of Bryce's season amidst windy conditions with the wind blowing in. He had just come back from a trip back out west to Nevada because his grandfather had passed away, hadn't thrown much that week, but thrust back into the starting rotation, and he put up his finest start of the summer. 0-1. There's a fastball that misses away. They count 1-1.
And as we come to the close of this regular season, definitely one of those starts that you're not going to forget. A guy who didn't throw most of the week and comes out and delivers his best performance. Robinson has had some gems, but that one, the best of them.
It's his lone start in which he hasn't allowed a single run. 1-1 is foul tipped back to the screen by the left-hand hitting Isaac Humphrey out of Louisville, a 272 hitter. And Bryce, after his roughest outing of the summer, in which he gave up 5 earned runs, looking to get back on the schneid. He's only allowed 7 total earned runs this summer. A couple unearned runs in that mix as well, but 5 of the 7 earned runs that he's allowed came in his last start. Runner on second, 2 out in the first. 1-2, fastball misses away. Keishel led off with a walk. Advanced on a short, wild pitch. A fly out and a comebacker to have helped Robinson find a path through this frame after the leadoff walk. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Is lifted foul on the left field line. A nice crowd working here on a Wednesday early afternoon, mid-afternoon, whatever you want to call it, early evening.
Depends on when you eat dinner. If you're like us and you eat dinner at 10 o'clock, this is midday.
The ever-changing dietary habits of a broadcaster. The 2-2 is a breaking ball that misses just a hair off the plate outside.
You went with a new food today.
I picked up a salad from a local grocery store at the recommendation of our production coordinator, Zack Clapp.
How was it?
It was delicious. 3-2, 2 out. Runner on second. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He got him out in front of a changeup. There's that Bugs Bunny change from Bryce Robinson that's been so effective this year. He works around a leadoff walk, strands a runner in scoring position onto the bottom of the first. Red Sox coming to bat, a scoreless game between the Firebirds and the Whitey Red Sox.
T-Mobile's a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more. The bottom half of the first getting underway here at Red Wilson Field. Sam Lebowitz and Carlo Jimenez taking you through just about the last week of games here in the regular season. The 4th place Firebirds, the 1st place Red Sox, who can clinch a playoff berth, or rather a 1st place finish in the Eastern Division. They already have their playoff berth. If a few things go right today, including having to win this ball game, Harwich and Brewster both have to lose if the Red Sox want to clinch today. They'll go to work against Bryce Weriker. Not an easy matchup for YD because Bryce Weriker out of San Luis Obispo has had an excellent season, a 1.73 ERA across his 8 outings, 4 of them starts. He started the All-Star game for the Eastern Division. Just one of a few important season highlights for the 6'8" right-hander out of Santa Barbara, California. First pitch to Homer Bush is taken for a called strike. The Red Sox lineup is Bush, followed by a newcomer, Robbie Burnett, the second baseman. Hayden Schott will DH, bat third. Braden Montgomery cleans up, plays right field. Caden Connor, the left fielder, bats fifth. Johnny Long plays first, bats sixth. 0-1 to Homer Bush. Fastball misses away, 1-1. Mike Bovey at third base, Zach Liu at shortstop, Fernando Gonzalez at catcher round out the Red Sox order. The big, tall right-hander works a 1-1 to Bush, a slider that hits the outside corner. A called strike, says Tim Carey, the home plate umpire. Bryce Weriker started for Orleans in a game against Chatham on June 29th and went 6 perfect innings. You might have heard about that game. 1-2 to Bush is a little bit low, a fastball, because Orleans finished that one off, a combined no-hitter, not a perfect game. The hit by pitch erased that possibility on the first pitch of the first reliever out of the pen. 2-2. Swing and a miss, a slider. Bush set aside a swinging strikeout to start this one.
Filthy slider there from Worker, who kind of hung that one a little bit, Sam. It wasn't down and in, but a little up. And now we get our first look at Robbie Burnett.
Newcomer for YD. That was Josh Allen who came in and ruined that perfect game with a hit by pitch. But Orleans still finished it off. A newcomer for these YD Red Sox. The left-hand hitting Burnett. First pitch to him, he takes a changeup for a called strike. Robbie Burnett joined the Red Sox today from the Pittsfield Suns out in West Massachusetts. He was a .319 hitter for Pittsfield. That led his league. 0-1, swing and a miss, another changeup. That led the Futures League. He hit 5 home runs, 9 doubles, drove in 23 RBIs, hit a triple, an all-star, and a home run derby selection for the Futures League. The UNC Asheville product, a left-hand hitter. He stands just 5'10". 0-2 is low. And Robbie got to the ballpark only about an hour before batting practice started, traveling the 3+ hours from Pittsfield. 1-2 is hit softly up the first baseline, a foul. He'll be a sophomore for UNC Asheville. He hit .322 with 5 home runs in his freshman campaign. Slugged .481, so he's capable of hitting for some power despite the middling stature at 5'10". 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's taken a little low, a fastball. And not only can he hit a little bit, but he can lift a little bit, Carlo. This is a guy who is a total gym rat. 2-2 is lined into right field for a base hit. Welcome to YD, Robbie Burnett, a single in his first time up for the Red Sox. He's on first with 1 away. You're in the bottom of the first.
So you get here an hour before batting practice. You get in the uniform. You're in the game. You have to play the best pitcher, statistically, on Cape Cod, and Bryce Worker. And what does Robbie Burnett do? Hits a single into right. Not a bad start for the former Sunfield.
Here's Hayden Schott, the DH today, batting third, a runner on first with 1 out. Robbie Burnett mentioned being a gym rat. He can deadlift over 600 pounds. Schott, a left-hand hitter. First pitch to him is rolled on the ground to second. Could be 2. Fielded by Beard. Flips to Urso for 1. The relay to first in plenty of time, a double play. So Burnett's single erased as Schott goes hacking on the first pitch and rolls into a double play. We move on to the second here at Red Wilson Field, a scoreless game between the Rydee Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds.
Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists offers premier emergency and specialty care for your pet when it matters most. Located in Buzzards Bay and Dennis. Learn more at CapeCodVetSpecialist.com. That's CapeCodVetSpecialist.com.
Top of the second here, coming back in a scoreless ball game between the Orleans Firebirds and the YD Red Sox. Neither team able to scratch out a run in the opening inning. We'll see if the Orleans Firebirds can find something against Bryce Robinson here in the second. Jack Bulger, Drew Metzdorf, and Garrett Gilmet. That's 5 through 7 in their order to hit against the BYU Cougar. Sam Lebowitz, Carlo Jimenez. Appreciate you joining us here on Intern Appreciation Night at the ballpark. on a fine Wednesday afternoon. The first pitch home is a fastball for a called strike on the Vanderbilt slugger, Jack Bulger, who has not slugged much this year for Orleans. He has just one extra base hit across his 22 games. He stands in the right-hand batter's box without batting gloves. The 0-1 is rolled on the ground to short, two-hopper for Zach Lou. He takes his time, throws on a first in time. A quick first out for Bryce Robinson.
And a good one to get the Vanderbilt hitter. Zach Lou over there at short, Sam. His delivery to first almost reminds me of the way Sean Gamlin pitches. He throws his entire body into that throw, almost rears up before gunning a fastball to first.
UMass Boston product Drew Metzdorf. You're right, Carlo. He kind of has to get behind that throw. He's not a guy with a very strong arm. First pitch to Metzdorf is a fastball that misses a tad high. Red Sox are a little bit strapped at the shortstop position right now. Hunter Haas was let go. He's dealing with some illness, so he's no longer with the team. 1-1 is lined toward short, past the leaping Zach Lou and into center field. A base hit for Metzdorf. Already his third in 9 at-bats since joining these Orleans Firebirds here in his third game.
Well, if you're a former Pitfield Sun and you're playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League, you're having a lot of fun. Those two guys played together, Metzdorf and Robbie Burnett, and both of them have hits here early.
Here's Garrett Gilmet, the catcher. Talked to Robbie a little bit before the game. He asked him about that, didn't you, Carlo? And they'll check on him at first. Almost got him. They did. They picked him off. Metzdorf caught leaning a little bit. A guy without a stolen base this summer, period. Rather, he had 16, actually, with Pittsfield, so he can run a little bit. He looked like he was looking a little runnerish and picked off. First pitch to Gilmet is low as we reset with 2 out, nobody on base. I was going to say that you talked to Robbie a little pregame and said, hey, you got a teammate across the way. 1-0 is a slider for a called strike. And he said, oh, Metzy? Yeah, it's good to see him.
Both of them were all-stars in the Futures League.
1-0 to the right hand here, Gilmet. Swing and a miss out in front of a changeup with his two-toned orange bat, black handle, and a bright orange barrel.
Garrett's already got the Texas colors going.
One of the newest Texas transfers from USC. The 1-2 is in the dirt. Carlo, how do you feel about that? That the Longhorns are using your Trojans as a farm for some talent?
I mean, gotta be happy for Garrett. This is a guy who has been nothing but kind. Got to cover him at USC, at Orleans last summer, and then at USC this year. And excited for the opportunity he's going to have at Texas.
2-2. Chopper slowly hit left side of the infield. Bovee grabs it in front of Lou. Strong throw across. In time, got him by a half step, says the first base umpire Michael Farnan. A 1-2-3 inning working around the single thanks to the pickoff. Bryce Robinson threw 2 scoreless. We head to the bottom of the second here at Red Wilson Field, a scoreless game between the Firebirds and the Whitey Red Sox.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
On a Wednesday evening here in South Yarmouth, we enter the bottom of the second between the Firebirds, the Whitey Red Sox. Each team scoreless through an inning and a half. The Red Sox coming to bat with 4, 5, and 6 in their order. Braden Montgomery, Caden Connor, and Johnny Long against the all-star tall right-hander out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Bryce Werricker, who worked around a single in the first inning, helped out by a double play ball. Braden Montgomery, switch hitter, batting left against the tall right-hander. First pitch coming home to him is swung on and nubbed foul softly back to the backstop. No balls and a strike. Montgomery had the biggest swing for the Red Sox yesterday out in Wareham. He had a 2-run home run in the 7th inning of that game. The only runs the Red Sox scored despite 13 base hits. It was the only extra base hit that the Red Sox mustered. 0-1 is rolled to the right side, fielded by the first baseman Jones on a high hop. He goes to the bag himself for the first out. So Montgomery quickly set aside despite his hot bat, and it brings up Caden Connor, who might have the hottest bat of any Red Sox right now. Working an 8-game hitting streak in which he's hitting .416 with 4 extra base hits in that span. He went just 1 for 4 last night, singled his first time up. And he'll look to get off to a hot start in this one. Caden's average is up to .269. He's got that OPS above 700, which feels like a low mark for him because he's been a fairly consistent performer for the Red Sox this summer. First pitch, left-hand hitter. And the righty Werricker misses outside a changeup.
And the interesting part about Caden's hitting streak is most of it has been against the Western Division. This is just his 3rd game against the East in his last 9.
1 ball, no strikes. There's a fastball that splits the plate. Count 1-1. Well, the Red Sox just finished up a 5-game stretch against Western Division foes. They only won twice in that span. That started with the blowout loss in Hartford, Connecticut against the Harbor Hawks from Hyannis. 1-1. A fastball on the outside corner, a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Caden Connor. They had the 2 wins prior to the break against Cotuit and Wareham, both here, and then they went to Cotuit and Wareham and lost the first 2 games after the All-Star break. So the Red Sox get to return home against an Eastern Division foe today. 1-2 is a changeup in the dirt. So 2 balls and 2 strikes from the Firebird. Bryce Werricker, the Firebirds wearing their very Firebirdy digital camo red vest jersey tops with red undershirts poking the sleeves out from either side. 2-2. Fastball away. Cal runs full on Caden Connor, white pants and red caps with black bills for the Firebirds today. Werricker is wearing the high socks with stirrups, looks like. Red Sox up to his knees. And for the Red Sox, they're wearing their alternate home whites. 3-2 is put up in the air to center. Hit fairly well, but Luke Keeschel eases back. He makes the catch for the first, check that, second out here in this bottom of the second.
Well, Sam, you talk about the Firebirdish uniforms. There's no such thing as a Firebird that we know of. Of course, the mythical legend ever became real. That'd be cool. But these do look very Firebird. The camo, HDMH uniforms, of course, the brand of Marcus Stroman.
A notable Firebird alumni. Here's Johnny Long. First pitch to the right-hand hitter, a slider that bends in for a called strike. Stroman was inducted into the Cape Cod Hall of Fame this year. And he's got a clothing company and designed these Firebird unisets. 0-1 is fouled off the catcher Gilmet to the backstop. Much different look than what the Red Sox are sporting. The stark white home alternates with the navy blue lettering, whitey on the chest, and the American flag design underneath the armpits. 0-2. Swing and a miss, a fastball. Gilmet pumps his fist as he receives it as Johnny Long strikes out on 3 pitches to send us along to the third. A slow start for both offenses without a run on the board to the first 2 frames between the Firebirds and the Whitey Red Sox. We'll take a break.
Well, hello there from Captain Parker's Pub over in West Yarmouth on Route 28. The entire crew from Captain Parker's wants to give a big salute to Cape Cod baseball. especially the young players that have dedicated so much time and effort to America's pastime. So join us for lunch or dinner or just a bowl of our world-famous clam chowder. Captain Parker's. Easy to find, but awfully hard to leave.
Top of the third here, and the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Orleans Firebirds will come to the bat against Bryce Robinson, the right-hander out of BYU. The Red Sox and the Firebirds scoreless through the first 2 frames. Robinson from the first base side of the rubber out of the full windup. He faces Tommy Humphrey, and the DH swings at the first pitch, lifts it out to left, playable and an easy play for Caden Connor, who moves in a tad towards the line and makes the one-handed catch for the first out. So Humphrey quickly set aside to begin the third frame. Robinson working quickly. He's allowed just a hit and a walk through the first 2. A pickoff in that second inning erased. A one-out single has helped him. Here's Logan Beard, the second baseman, another right-hand hitter. Beard out of Louisville, a 115 hitter. It's been a struggle for him. The first pitch, a slider and a swing and a miss. Just 6 hits across 52 at-bats for the Prospect, Kentucky native, trying to prove he's a prospect in this league. The 0-1, a slider on the outside corner. See what I did there, Carlo?
I did. Excellently done. Your wordplay since the All-Star break is taking another step.
Just trying to keep it loose here in the broadcast booth. 0-2. Checks his swing and a slider away. Did he go? He did not, says the first base umpire, Michael Farnan. Beard is just 1 for his last 31 with 19 strikeouts in that span. That's over 11 games played. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him out in front of a changeup away. A strikeout for Bryce Robinson, his second, and that's the second out here in the third inning.
Bryce Robinson working at lightning speed here in this third frame, Sam. Point streak doesn't have his pitch count, but if I had to guess, it'd be low.
Feels like it. He's working quickly. Clearly, someone knows that Max Scherzer is pitching against the Yankees tonight and wants to go home and watch that game.
Oh, is that it?
Well, at least from my perspective. That's must-watch television. I can't wait to check out as much of that game as I can. Here's Luke Keeschel batting for the second time. He swings at the first pitch, lifts it pretty well out to deep left field. Caden Connor moving into the corner. He runs it down. Heading into foul territory, Caden Connor makes a couple of nice plays here in the top half of the third, and a 1-2-3 frame for Bryce Robinson. On to the bottom of the third, a scoreless game here at Red Wilson Field between the Firebirds and the YD Red Sox.
MP Sports Cards is proud to sponsor the Kids Baseball Clinics. If you're a sports card collector, be sure to stop by and check out the latest releases, graded cards, supplies, and more. A local favorite for hobby enthusiasts across Massachusetts and, of course, your Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in our store and mention code Red Sox to get 1 free pack of 2022 Topps Baseball Update with any purchase. Some exclusions apply. Visit us at 71 Main Street in Carver, Mass. or online at mpsportscards.com. That's mpsportscards.com.
Bottom of the third here at Red Wilson Field, and the bottom third of the Red Sox order will go to work against the 6'8" right-hander, Bryce Weriker out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. It's Mike Bovey, Zach Lou, and Fernando Gonzalez. A scoreless game here as we enter the bottom of the third between the Firebirds and the YD Red Sox. Red Sox trying to get something going. The offense struggled yesterday in Wareham. They scored just 2 runs, despite getting 13 base hits in that game. First pitch to Bovey, left-hand hitter. A check swing tapper right back to Weriker. He fields it. He'll underhand flip to Cam Jones for the first out. We are moving at a lightning-quick pace. Lots of balls being put in play early in counts on both sides. And Bovey set aside on the first pitch from Weriker.
Yeah, you look at what else is going on around Cape. Brewster and Wareham started 30 minutes before us. We are both in the bottom of the third.
So that one, a Wareham 4-0 lead over Brewster already, is one you circle if you're a Red Sox fan. Here's Zach Lou, right-hand hitter, and Weriker deals a fastball for a called strike. Because the Red Sox clinch this division if they can win here today, and if both Brewster and Harwich in their games lose. 0-1 to Lou. A fastball in the outside corner. The count quickly 0-2 on Zack. Cal State Fullerton Titan had a pair of hits yesterday, a much-needed 2-hit day for him. Wareham's already ahead of Brewster 4-0 out at Stony Brook Field. 0-2. Taken low. He checked his swing, and he went around, says Michael Farnan. 3 pitches, Zach Lou is struck out. Weriker, the beneficiary of that check swing call, and quickly 2 outs against him.
Props to Kelly Nicholson there. He sold it out of the dugout. He was screaming, yes, 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 the Orleans Firebirds manager.
So the first 2 set aside on just 4 pitches for Weriker. Here's Fernando Gonzalez. The Harwich game that's of note, they don't start until 6 p.m. They're playing Bourne at Bourne. First pitch to Gonzalez. He swings at it and lifts it along the right field line, and it's going to land untouched, a foul ball. Weriker, that was just his 28th pitch here, working with 2 out in the second. He allowed the 2 out, the 1 out single in the first to Burnett, but the double play helped him get around that one. He's thrown 21 strikes in those 28 pitches. 0-1 is chopped slowly up the third baseline. It lands foul towards the third base coaching box. And the count quickly 0-2 to Fernando Gonzalez. Again, Weriker getting ahead of yet another hitter. Weriker has walked just 6 batters in his 26 innings coming into this outing. He's been a strike thrower, hasn't walked more than 2 in any outing, has not yet walked a hitter today. He's gotten ahead of pretty much everybody. 0-2 to Gonzalez. Slider misses a little bit high. The count is 1-2 on Fernando.
And kind of what we expected coming in. You get the ace and the best pitcher in the Eastern Division in Weriker, and then the ace for YD in Bryce Robinson.
Both pitchers working quickly and throwing lots of strikes. 1-2 to Gonzalez is slashed foul the other way. The right hand hitting Georgia catcher Gonzalez will get another strike. Infield playing Fernando straight up, with Luke Schliger leaving the Red Sox due to fatigue. Gonzalez takes over the primary catching duties. 1-2 is softly hit foul up the first baseline. He got in front of a slider and hit it off the end of the bat.
Fernando doing Fernando things and working long at bat, something he's been able to do all summer long. Catchers know the strike zone better than most players, and Fernando behind the plate today using that to his advantage.
Gonzalez, a 186 hitter. He has 9 walks in 27 games. 1 ball and 2 strikes to him. Here it comes. He's rolled up the middle. Urso, the shortstop, field sliding behind the bag. His throw over to Cam Jones at first base is in time. Gonzalez grounds out to short. Another 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Weriker. Only 1 Red Sox has reached the first time through the order. We go to the 4th in a scoreless game between the Firebirds and YD Red Sox. And my partner, Carlo Jimenez, will take you through the meat of this one. We'll be right back.
Hey, Sox fans, have you thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Szymanski of the Salty Dog Group is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at Keller Williams Realty of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily is your go-to resource for home buying and selling. Call Emily Szymanski at 508-221-0196 or visit thesaltydoggroup.kw.com. That's thesaltydoggroup.kw.com. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz, our producer Zack Clapp, as we welcome you into a lightning-quick baseball game here at Red Wilson Field. There's no pitch clock, but we've played 3 innings, and it has barely been 30 minutes here at Red Wilson Field. Bryce Robinson still on the mound for YD. In a scoreless top of the 4th inning coming your way, J.D. Urso, Cam Jones, Isaac Humphreys all due up. The 2-3-4 hitters for the team from Orleans. Urso flew out to center his last time up. Right-handed batter with the white pants and the black bat. Looks towards Robinson. First pitch home. Change up, hit sharply on the ground, fouled on the left field line. No balls and 1 strike. J.D. Urso, D2 University at Tampa, plays for his father, Joe Urso. And those of you familiar with Division II baseball, Joe Urso is a legend. 0-1. Fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Urso has won 5 Division II championships, more than anybody else in Division II baseball. He's the 6-time National Coach of the Year, 1-1 down the hill. Fastball ripped foul down the right field line. There's a group of kids wearing their baseball uniforms today, blue baseball uniforms. They go racing after it. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and a scoreless top of the 4th inning with nobody out and nobody on. Worker Robinson peeks over the top of his glove, and the 1-2 is a slider for a strike on the outside part of the plate. 3rd strikeout for Bryce Robinson. And this one looking. There's 1 away. Absolutely gorgeous day at Merrill Red Wilson. Barely any clouds. Light breeze out to left. Right-handed bat of Cam Jones digs in. First pitch to him. Curveball in the dirt. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Sam Jones, who is a two-way guy, is a pitcher and a hitter. Does that give him any advantage here, facing another pitcher?
It could. I'll expand on that.
1-0. Fastball at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I would imagine that at least to some extent he thinks like a pitcher in the batter's box, so he has some idea of how Bryce Robinson might attack him, at least how he might attack himself as a hitter. He knows how to get himself out, I'm sure.
1-1. Big curveball misses high. 2 balls and a strike.
I know it's a lot different talking about Shohei Ohtani versus someone like Cam Jones, but Shohei Ohtani has been asked multiple times, who wins the battle? Does Shohei Ohtani get Shohei Ohtani out? And he says every time, yes.
2-1, sharply hit left side of the infield, gobbled up by the shortstop, Zach Lou. Throw to first a little high, but Johnny Long tall enough as the first baseman snares it. 2 up, 2 down to begin the top of the 4th.
Ohtani says that he could get himself out as a hitter, and he thinks he would have a high success rate doing so because he knows how to get himself out, and he thinks that he has the tools to be able to do just that. So, like Cam Jones, I think, probably knows his weaknesses as a hitter and how to exploit them as a pitcher.
Didn't work for Jones there, but he'll be up again. Here's the lefty Isaac Humphreys, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs, bases empty, no score. In the first of a home and home with an off day in between the Orleans Firebirds and the YD Red Sox. Here comes an 0-1. Fastball skips in. Gonzalez able to pick it. In the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Robinson is at 32 pitches. 2 outs into this 4th inning. He struck out the only left-handed batter, Humphrey, back in the first to end the frame. 1-1. Change up low. 2 balls and a strike. Isaac Humphrey rocking a 24-game on-base streak. 24 games. 2-1. And he swings and uppercuts one into center field. Center fielder Homer Bush Jr. camps out under it, ranges to his left, makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Bryce Robinson working with some pace. He is retired 6 in a row as we head to the bottom of the 4th. No score between YD and Orleans. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops and first responders who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Yarmouth Tennis Red Sox and all the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by Zephyr Hats, the Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. Support our troops and first responders and join us by wearing red every Friday. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field in the bottom of the 4th inning, where the YD Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds are scoreless. Due up for the home team, it's the top lineup: Homer Bush Jr., Robbie Burnett, and Hayden Schott. And Sam Lebowitz, YD, has been unable to crack the enigma of Bryce Werricker. Do maybe we see Homer Bush put a bunt down here, try to get aboard in a different way?
It could be, a direction that he could go in this at-bat. I'm not quite sure. We haven't really seen Homer bunt very effectively this year. Feels like something that he should be good at because of his speed, but bunting, need I remind you, Carlo, as we saw last night late in that game for YD, bunting, especially against good pitchers, is awfully hard.
Werricker stands in for the middle of the rubber. He deals to the righty. And Homer Bush Jr. hits one off the end of the bat, down the first base line, fair ball. Backhanded nicely by the first baseman, Jones. The underhand flips to the covering Werricker. And Werricker, with all his speed and length, able to get to the bag in time. He's 6'8". Took him about 3 strides to get over there to first and record the out.
Few guys can outpace Homer Bush, who got out of the box fairly quickly there, but you're right, Werricker, like a gazelle, just 1, 2, maybe 3 strides, and it looked like he was already at the bag. That was impressive.
Here's the left-handed bat of Robbie Burnett. In his debut with the YD Red Sox, he has the only hit. First pitch home. Burnett takes a fastball high. 1 ball and no strikes. No score, YD and Orleans. Bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox trying to do their part to clinch the Eastern Division before the playoffs. 1-0. Burnett swings, belts one on 2 hops, sliding on the backhand. The second baseman, Beard, throw to first in time. A nice play by Logan Beard, doing a little sliding deep in the dirt. And he retires Robbie Burnett, who has decent speed, 2 away on 2 very nice defensive plays.
Yeah, the Firebirds flashing some leather in the field in this 4th inning. Most of the outs have been routine today for Bryce Werricker, but Cam Jones and Logan Beard, his right side of the infield contingent, have benefited him so far here in this 4th inning.
Left-handed bat of Hayden Schott looks on, swings and misses at a first pitch changeup. No balls and 1 strike. No score, bottom 4. And that was just the 5th pitch of the inning. For Bryce Werricker, it's Bryce on Bryce today. 0-1. Slider on the inside edge. No balls and 2 strikes. Sam, we never got the Grant Taylor versus Grant Taylor start.
But we have a Bryce versus Bryce today.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Base is empty, 2 out. The 0-2 to Hayden Schott. And he swings and grounds one up the middle. Logan Beard, the second baseman's been busy. A backhand, a throw to first, through the glove of the first baseman, Jones, and it rolls into the front of the dugout of Orleans. A nice defensive play by the catcher, Garrett Gilmet, who was behind first. That ball was going out of play. There's no wall down that right field line, so the ball goes out of play. It's another 90 feet for Hayden Schott, and they mark it as an E4 on Logan Beard. Runner at first. The go-ahead run in a scoreless bottom of the 4th. Here's Braden Montgomery.
Extends the inning, gives Braden Montgomery a chance to do what he's done a lot of lately, and that's hit the home run ball. In his last 6 games, he's got 3 of them, so including one last night. Montgomery, the guy you want up after a 2-out error.
Opening offering to the lefty. And he swings and belts one into right field. It hangs up there for the right field Humphreys, who makes the catch. Thought he might have had another, but we'll have to wait till he comes up again. One reaches on an air, and one left on. We head to the 5th inning. No score. Bryce Werker working as quickly as he can get to first. There's no score through 4.
Giardino's Family Restaurant has been locally owned and operated since 1970. Originally opened by Ed Giardino Sr. as the Tasty Tower, today his sons are still committed to providing the same quality meals and service that their customers have come to know and love. So if you're looking for a great night out, come on in to Giardino's Family Restaurant in West Yarmouth on Cape Cod. Giardino's, a restaurant for family, by family.
We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside my good friend Sam Lebowitz, who's enjoying some organic banana chips up here in the booth. Top of the 5th inning is coming your way. Jack Bulger, Drew Metzorf, and Garrett Gilmet all due up. For the Orleans Firebirds, no score between YD and Orleans. And Bryce Robinson out there for his 5th inning of work. He's retired 7 in a row. First pitch to the righty. Bulger takes a slider on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Bulger, a man who does not wear batting gloves. From Maryland. Stands straight up in the batter's box. 0-1. Slider misses away. Not a lot of baseball talent, Sam, stems from the state of Maryland. Bulger, of course, an exception to that. And a big reason why is, here's the 1-1. Fastball below the knees. 2 balls and a strike. Is his relationship with the Class A affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. As Bulger's home sits about 5 minutes from the Bowie Bay Sox. 2-1. He swings and drives one into right center field. Homer Bush Jr. ranging over to his right, and he makes the catch. Well, Sam can go more in depth next time Bulger comes up, but Jack essentially was taken under the wing of one of the minor league players there when he was a youngster, who taught him a lot, and he got access to the facilities anytime.
You'll take that.
That is a plus.
That's quite the tool for a young, improving baseball player to be able to work out at high-level facilities.
Drew Metzorf, who has a single today, right-handed batter, looks on. It's now 8 in a row. Retired by Bryce Robinson. First pitch on. And the righty takes a fastball that misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Base is empty. 1 out, no score. Top 5. On a cloudless and beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Fans out and about. 1-0. Swinging a 2 chopper into left field. A base hit. Drew Metzorf has 2 hits today. The only 2 hits for the Orleans Firebirds. He breaks up the 8 in a row retired by Bryce Robinson. Here's Garrett Gilmet. Gilmet transferring to Texas. That bright orange barrel on his bat, but still a USC shin guard on his left leg. Leading at first is Metzorf, who has good speed. Throwback to first. He's back on a head-first slide. Metzorf was caught off the bag last time he was up in the second. He stole 16 bases with the Pittsfield Suns. Named an All-Star. See if his former Pittsfield Sun teammate, Robbie Burnett at second, would tag him out, should he run. First pitch to the righty, Gilmet, no. Gilmet wants time. Flag is quiet in left, and the outfield is packed here at Red Wilson. Usually there's scattered fans in left and right, but pretty much from foul pole to foul pole, you can find fans in their lawn chairs watching this one. 4:30 start, a popular one. First pitch to Guillemette, and he looks at a changeup off the inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Behind home plate, where the on-deck circle of the Whitey Red Sox is, there's about 4 rows of lawn chairs. Go ahead to run at first, and Drew Metzdorf. Throw back to first. He's backing ahead for a slide. As he dirties up the HDMH uniforms supplied by Marcus Stroman. Height doesn't measure heart, is what that stands for. 1-0. Change up low. 2 balls and no strikes. Fitting for Marcus Stroman's brand.
Yeah, he's only about 5'7", 5'8". He's carved himself out in pretty decent big league career. Has made himself some money.
Runner at first, 1 out. Robinson trying to keep this a scoreless game in the top of the 5th. 2-0. Guillemette takes a slider that catches the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to him. Garrett, a returning Firebird, was with Orleans last year. Hit .203, having a much better offensive season this year. 2-1. Garrett chops one foul, third base side. Last summer for Guillemette, he would have spurts of offense where it would go 4 days at a time, 3 days at a time. This summer, he's been consistent, almost Caden Connor-esque, not to the same level, but in terms of his day out and day in delivery. Hits in 5 of his last 7 games played. 2-2. Swings and grounds one left side. Ranging to his left, Zack, the shortstop, goes to second for 1. Burnett's turn, not in time. Guillemette beats it out. Robbie Burnett and Drew Metzdorf share a nice moment as they high-five each other. Former Pittsfield Sun teammates. Just last week, we're playing in the same uniform, and there's 2 away. Here's Tommy Humphrey. Interesting there, Sam. It didn't seem like Drew Metzdorf slid, and that's exactly what Scott Pickler is going to talk to Edward McAven about, because we saw this same situation with Cole Carrig a couple of weeks ago.
And they called Carrig out because he didn't slide. They said it's an obstruction and an interference, and that the runner on a double play ball has to slide into second base or otherwise clear themselves as far out of the base path as they possibly can. They cannot head towards the base and not slide. And we're going to get a conversation between these umpires, which is at the very least what Coach Pickler wanted here in this inning.
You notice that Metzdorf didn't slide. I was wondering, that's something we've seen being called before. So would then Guillemette be out because he's the back end of that double play? Because Metzdorf is out.
I think there's certainly a possibility that you could make the argument that Robbie Burnett was a little obstructed. His throw was a little bit high. He kind of threw it off the back foot. Looks like they're going to keep him at first base, though.
Guillemette is at first. Tommy Humphrey is up at the plate. The left-handed batter digs in out of Fresno State with 1 on and 2 out. Go ahead run at first for Orleans. No score. Top of the 5th inning here at Red Wilson Field. Robinson kicks and deals. And a changeup hit back to the chain link fence where fans fill in their lawn chairs. A lot of scouts here today to watch this pitcher's duel that has been as advertised so far. 3 combined hits, both for Orleans by Drew Metzdorf. 0-1. Fastball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. One thing that you do get if you're the Whitey Red Sox by retiring Metzdorf on the 6.4 force speed taking off the base pass. Guillemette not a base stealing threat, the catcher at first. 1-1. Swinging a foul down the third base line over the 4 rows of lawn chairs. Flag blowing gently out to left. Tommy Humphrey, a two-way guy who's only taken hacks in 5 games this summer. His first one was against YD back on June 22nd. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He's 0 for 1 today. Dark red barrel on the bat. Guillemette leads at first. No gloves on his hands, but tape on his wrists, and Humphrey calls for time. Out of Bakersfield, California, as he tries to get aboard against Bryce Robinson. 1-2. Change up in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes as the wind picks up slightly out to right. Update on that Wareham score. The Gatemen now lead 5-0 over the Brewster Whitecaps. If YD wins today and Harwich and Brewster lose, Red Sox clinch the Eastern Division and the #1 overall seed in the playoffs. 2-2. Swinging a fly ball into center on the change. Ranging back and making the catch is the center fielder, Homer Bush Jr. 1 hit, 1 left on. No runs come across. We are halfway home at Red Wilson Field, and the bottom of the 5th is coming our way. No score between the Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field, where I hope you didn't blink. We're already halfway home, and we've played an hour of baseball. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Red Wilson Field. The YD Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds are scoreless, due up for YD. Caden Connor, Johnny Long, Mike Bobby, 5, 6, 7, against the best pitcher on Cape this summer, the righty Bryce Werricker. Sam, what has impressed you the most by Bryce so far?
He's filling the strike zone, Carlo. It's really that simple, is that everything's working for him. The fastball-slider combination, even the changeups that he's worked more to the left-hand hitters. He's been really effective. He's keeping the ball off the barrel. The Red Sox have been swinging early and often. He's just got 3 strikeouts through the first 4 innings, but the balls that have been hit in play, for the most part, have been hit very softly. He's got a lot of early contact and a lot of soft contact.
Lefty Connor looks up. The pitch, he takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls in 1 strike. That was the 61st pitch. Check that. That was the 43rd pitch for Bryce Werricker. I was looking at Bryce Robinson. Werricker, 32 strikes, 9 balls. 0-1. Connor takes a strike. Another fastball, same spot, same result. No score in the bottom of the 5th between YD and Orleans. The Red Sox can clinch the Eastern Division with a win and a Harwich and Brewster loss. But, Sam, this game holds more weight for the Orleans Firebirds, who are 1 point out of missing the playoffs. 0-2. Caden Connor looks at a ball in the dirt. Changeup bounces in. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, those surging Chatham A's have made it interesting in the Eastern Division, which for the most part has not been maybe the highest quality baseball in comparison to the West. Whereas the West was more bunched up at the top, the East is much more bunched up at the bottom. The Red Sox running away with this division, but the other 4 teams all pretty neatly packed together.
1-2. Caden Connor shatters his bat, rolls it foul on the first baseline. He holds the handle in his hands and looks at it with a face of awe. That bat dies down the right field line, and some firewood here at Red Wilson Field as Caden Connor has to go and get a new piece of lumber.
Completely splintered at the neck of that bat. He was left with the handle in his hands and the rest of the bat, about 80% of it up the first baseline.
On a windy and clear day here at Red Wilson Field. Flag blowing strongly out to left. Shadows starting to creep up that first baseline. Caden Connor has a new bat. And if my eyes don't deceive me, that looks like Cole Carrick's bat, who is not playing today.
It could be. Get the binoculars out and see if we can see what name is engraved on the barrel.
Good luck. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count to the lefty, Caden Connor. Bases empty, nobody out. Scoreless, bottom of the 5th. The pitch. Connor pops one up, in on his hands, behind home plate. Gilmet calls it off as he sheds the hockey mask and makes the catch to the left of home and in foul territory, 1 away. Any chance you got a read on it, Sam?
Couldn't tell. Tried my best. I'm sorry.
It's okay. As long as you tried your best, can't really complain. Werricker has thrown 45 pitches, 35 of them for strikes, as he faces the right-handed bat of Johnny Long with 1 out and the base is empty and a scoreless bottom 5. The pitch out. Long looks at a fastball low. Werricker out of San Luis Obispo, who just had their highest draft pick in program history. Brooks Lee going 8th overall in the 2022 draft. 1-0. Long swings and misses at a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. And these Orleans Firebirds familiar with Brooks Lee. He was here in a Whitey uniform. 1-1. Long swings at a fastball and misses everything. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, base is empty, bottom 5. Drew Thorpe was also a pitcher for YD a season ago from Cal Poly. 1-2. Off the outer edge, a slider can't find the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Johnny Long might be the first Whitey Red Sox with a 2-2 count in a while. Workers thrown just 10 balls to the previous 15 batters. Keishel at first playing off the bag. Or Jones at first playing off the bag. Sunglasses atop his hat. 2-2. Long looks at a slider that misses up and in. First 3-ball count for Bryce Worker. Johnny Long, who struck out his last time up, trying to get aboard with 1 out. 3-2 down the hill. Johnny watches ball 4, miss inside and reaches. Go ahead run on the base pass. Here's Zach Liu with 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, and we are going to get a pinch hitter. Check that. Mike Bovey is due up, not Zach Liu.
I don't know how that last pitch didn't hit Johnny Long. That came awfully inside on him. That slider that breaks so much for Bryce Werricker. It just started in at that front hit of Johnny Long. He bent out of the way, and it somehow evaded him.
Long at first. First pitch to the lefty, Bovey. He golfs one into right field. Racing in the right fielder, Humphrey, on a dead sprint, makes the catch head high with 2 hands. Long has to race back to first. There's 2 away. Now looked like the ball just missed him by inches. Now Zach Liu is at the plate, who struck out his last time up with the go-ahead run at first. No score, bottom 5 between Orleans and YD. And if the playoffs were to start tomorrow, this would be first-round matchup for the Red Sox. First pitch to the righty. Liu shows bunt. Bunts one down the third base line. It's a good one. Werricker picks it up on the bare hand. Throws to first. Did he get him? Yes! The pitcher, Werricker, with a terrific barehanded snag. Guns one to first and gets Liu out by inches. We head to the 6th inning. No score between YD and Orleans. Here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network.
Hey fans, Devanheim is the official website development company of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They designed and developed our website and help us with marketing to bring more fans to the games and more visitors to our website. Devanheim helps organizations generate more leads and maximize their marketing budget. Check out devanheim.com to learn more and be sure to like Devanheim on Facebook. That's DEVADIGM.com. Devadigm.com.
We welcome you back to Cape Cod Baseball here at Red Wilson Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside my good friend Sam Lebowitz as we welcome you into the 6th inning. No score between the YD Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. 9-1-2 due up for Orleans against Bryce Robinson, who works into his 6th inning. He faces Beard, Keishel, and J.D. Urso. Logan Beard struck out swinging his first time up. Robinson peeks over the top of his black glove, trying to keep this game scoreless. From the first base side of the rubber, he deals. Change up. Beard swings and lifts one foul down the first baseline. No balls and 1 strike. The Red Sox trying to remain atop that Eastern Division. The Orleans Firebirds a point above the Chatham Anglers, who are last in the East. The last place team does not make the playoffs. 0-1. Fastball hit it up in the air and into right field, a base hit. Logan Beard lifts one into right, just off the end of the bat. Only the 3rd hit against Bryce Robinson. And then stands Luke Keishel.
And a important hit if you're Logan Beard, because he came into this game just 1 for his last 32. So certainly feels good to get a knock there for him.
1 on, nobody out. Go-ahead run at first for Orleans in the top of the 6th. On a soft looper to right, here's Luke Keishel, who's also in a bit of a funk. He's 2 for his last 23. Right-handed batter, the first pitch home. Fastball misses away. 1 ball and no strikes.
Keishel is a dangerous hitter, though. We've seen him break a scoreless tie here at Red Wilson Field earlier this season with a 2-run home run. That came against Chris Bowe much earlier in the season, before the halfway point.
1-0, big swing and a miss on a change. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, this game very similar to that game back on June 22nd. Orleans won 2-0. Both teams left a combined 12 on the base paths. And it was the Red Sox first loss against the Firebirds here at home since 2019. 1-1. Change up, ripped into left field, a base hit down the line. Beard hits the bag at second. He holds there after a big turn. Back-to-back hits for the first time today for the Orleans Firebirds. Puts 2 on and nobody out. Here's J.D. Urso.
Keishel has just such a quick bat inside, and anything out over the plate, he's going to hook it. And that's exactly what happened there, just a changeup that caught a little too much of the zone. And he got his hands to it and lined it down the left field line. And the Firebirds are in business. This is a huge spot in this game with how quickly and efficiently Bryce Weriker has worked on the other side.
Robinson had allowed 2 hits all day. Coming into this frame, he's allowed back-to-back hits. Urso, a right-handed batter. And a time is called by J.D. Holds the bat above that right shoulder.
Looks like the Red Sox might be anticipating a bunt.
Johnny Long in on the grass at first. So is the third baseman, Bovee. The bunt is put down. The pitch, curveball, misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. J.D. Urso, who is the Sunshine State Conference second teamer at Tampa Division II University, named Freshman of the Year after he finished 2nd in the league in batting average. Playing in just his 10th game this summer with the Orleans Firebirds, looking for a big bunt. He shows bunt. 1-0. Fastball hit on the ground. It's a good one in front of home plate. Gonzalez picks it up, goes to third. Did he get him? No, not in time. Off the bag was the third baseman, Bovee. He says that sliding into third, Logan Beard pushed him off the bag. And third base umpire, Edward McAven, does not agree. I don't know what you saw, Sam, but Bovee's feet were not on the bag when he fielded that throw from Gonzalez. And Mike is saying that Beard pushed him off.
I think there's a chance that Bovee absolutely had his feet on the base there. And Fernando Gonzalez made an outstanding defensive play to pick that ball up with the bare hand with his momentum moving towards second to sling it to third base. And the throw did beat Beard there. But they're saying that Bovee was not on the base. He kind of had to shuffle his feet as he received that throw. And maybe McAven said that his feet were up in the air.
So the bases are loaded with nobody out for the Orleans Firebirds. Beard at third, Kiesel at second, Urso at first. Here's the righty Cam Jones. First pitch. Jones takes a strike at the knees. Fastball. No balls and one strike, and Jones the hottest hitter in this Orleans lineup. On a clear and windy day at Red Wilson, the tension rising. On this Wednesday afternoon, infield is in at the corners. Time is called by Jones. 386 over his last 11, but just 2 RBIs in that stretch. He only has 3 on the summer. Robinson's 0-1. Swinging a ground ball left side, foul, says home plate umpire Timothy Carey. And the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Bryce is not a big strikeout guy. He does have 3 today, but he could use one here. This is a spot that we saw the Red Sox fail in yesterday with the bases loaded and nobody out. That was in the second inning of the game in Wareham that came back to bite them. They only lost by 2 runs. In this, they're on the opposite side of it, and it is incumbent upon Bryce Robinson to execute his pitches here, and he's done a good job getting ahead of his first test with the sacks full in Cam Jones with an 0-2 count.
3 on, nobody out, no score, top 6. 0-2. Fastball hit foul on the ground in the first base line. Well, the YD Red Sox have not enjoyed bases loaded situations, whether they're swinging the bat or pitching. Opposing teams hitting above 300 with the bases loaded against this pitching staff of YD. Can Robinson buck the trend with nobody out? Allowed a hit to Beard, a hit to Kiesel. Urso reaches on the fielder's choice. 0-2. Fastball up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cam Jones, who's pitched in 3 games against these YD Red Sox, making his first start in the lineup as a hitter. Holds the bat in front of his chest and calls for time. Tape on his wrist, and the conversation between Bryce Robinson and Fernando Gonzalez has stalled with the bases loaded and a 1-2 count, nobody out. Robinson looks at the first sign. He comes set. 1-2. Fastball misses up and away. Snapback throw to third. Not in time. Fernando Gonzalez tried to catch Logan Beard off the bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count with nobody out. In right field is Brady Montgomery. Caden Connor playing at regular depth in left, and Homer Bush Jr. back a couple steps in center. Flag now stoic over the scoreboard in left, and a packed house here at Red Wilson Field. Maybe the biggest crowd we've seen all summer. Trying to see this game remain scoreless. 2-2, swinging a looper into center field. It lands for a base hit. Beard scores. Kiesel gets the go sign around third. He's coming home. He slides without a throw. Homer Bush's Jr.'s throw is cut off by Johnny Long. 2 runs on a 2 RBI single. And Bryce Robinson has given up the first runs of the game. It's 2-0. Orleans leads YD.
Nice piece of hitting by Jones. He got behind in that count, 0-2. Worked it back to 2-2, and then another slider that caught too much play. Just got the bat head out to it. Didn't hit it hard, but got it over the infield and picks up a pair of RBIs.
2 RBIs, 2-0 Orleans. In the top of the 6th inning, still nobody out. Here's the left-handed bat of Isaac Humphrey. Somebody's up and at him in that YD pen. Humphrey shows a bunt. First pitch home is a good bunt down the third baseline. Bovee gloves, throws to first, not in time. And the base is loaded again on the bunt from Isaac Humphrey. On to third goes Urso, and second is Jones. Here's Jack Bulger, and a chance for the Orleans Firebirds to really get a grip on this game. Up 2-0. They now have 6 hits, with 4 of them coming in this frame. Scott Pickler might be sensing the same as he hops out of his dugout. Let's see if he goes to the bullpen.
Just a perfect bunt there by Isaac Humphrey. I think caught the Red Sox by surprise. Bovee was playing a little bit behind even with the bag and did everything he could, made a nice pick and throw, and the throw was just late. Humphrey runs well. Had 11 stolen bases this year with Louisville, just 3 this summer, but he can motor a little bit, and he beat that one out by quite a lot.
That's going to do it for Bryce Robinson. We'll step aside and come back. Aaron Calhoun will be on mop-up duty. Bases loaded, nobody out. It's 2-0 Orleans. We welcome you to Red Wilson Field. I'm Carlo Jimenez alongside my good friend Sam Lebowitz as we continue the top of the 6th inning where the Orleans Firebirds have turned up the heat. 2 runs in, they lead 2-0, and the bases loaded with nobody out. Here's Aaron Calhoun, the new pitcher out of the pen, Sam, who inherits a mess facing the everyday starter out of Vanderbilt, the right-handed bat of Jack Bulger. Calhoun, you're going to see a fastball, a changeup, and a slider, a guy who's making his 5th appearance of the summer. His last one was his best. 2 innings against Wareham. He struck out 2, walked 1, did not give up a hit. Working from the first base side of the rubber, the right-handed pitcher out of Oklahoma will try to keep this a 2-run lead for Orleans. First pitch to Bulger. Fastball misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. At third, it's J.D. Urso. At second is Cam Jones. At first, Isaac Humphrey. Good speed across the base paths for Orleans. Infield is at double play depth up the middle. Bulger levitates the bat over the right shoulder. 1-0. Swing and a miss as he chases the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike from Calhoun to Bulger. Mentioned earlier how this Whitey pitching staff has struggled pitching with the bases loaded. Orleans this summer has been about their team average at .230 with the bases loaded. Calhoun sets to the belt, 1-1. Fastball high, 2 balls and a strike to Jack Bulger. Bulger's got an absurd amount of power. At Fenway Day, we were able to watch him take a couple of hacks, and he sent multiple baseballs over the Green Monster. Guy who stands at 6 feet 205, built like a Mack truck. He spins the bat in front of him with the bases juiced and nobody out. 2-0 Orleans. Calhoun's 2-1. Bulger grounds one left side of the infield. Zack, the shortstop, goes to second for one. The turn to first, not in time. A run comes home as J.D. Urso scores on the ground out by Jack Bulger. Runners to the corners with one out, and Orleans adds a tally. It's 3-0.
I think Robbie Burnett might have lost his footing just a little bit as he received that throw because he kind of threw it awkwardly. Incredible, frankly, that he was able to get as strong a throw off as he was because it was kind of an awkward throw. But Bulger, who's not very fast, was able to beat that one out and ensure that Orleans, with already 3 home, has a chance to bring even more home with only 1 out in the inning.
Bulger leads at first. Here's Drew Metzdorf, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. On to third on the play goes Cam Jones, who has the 2 RBI single in this inning, as Metzdorf wants time. Last played for the Pittsfield Suns to begin the summer. Was with them until July 23rd, just 4 days ago, before coming to Orleans. First pitch to the ready. Takes a fastball on the inner edge. No balls in 1 strike. Gonzalez was set up away, but Calhoun still finds the strike zone. 2 on, 1 out. The Orleans Firebirds, who sit in the bottom half of the Eastern Division, trying to improve their chances at a playoff spot. They currently would be in the playoffs if they start tomorrow, but only make the cut by a singular point. Calhoun steps off as we have crawled to a snail's pace here in the top of the 6th. And Drew Metzdorf wants to go talk to his third base coach about how to attack Calhoun with a runner at third and Jones and Bulger at first.
Carlo, you've seen Kelly Nicholson manage more than I have. You think a squeeze play with Metzdorf's ability to handle the bat and run well is in play here?
Absolutely. Kelly Nicholson loves to squeeze. In fact, I'd be shocked if we didn't see one. 1 out, 2 on. The 0-1 count, 3-0 Orleans leads. Here comes the bunt, and it's a foul. And it gets the right arm of home plate umpire Timothy Carey right behind home. Bounced up underneath the glove of Gonzalez. Carey holding that inner side of the left forearm, No balls and 2 strikes. There is the squeeze attempt, but a futile one. As round of applause for home plate umpire Carey. He points to that arm to Fernando Gonzalez, shakes it out. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. 3-0 Orleans leads in the top of the 6th inning. Wispy clouds above Red Wilson Field. Fans filling every space of green grass down the left and right field lines and all throughout the outfield fence. Calhoun stares in, throws back to first. A lob throw. Bulger back on his feet. Red Sox have lost 2 in a row since the All-Star break. They only lost 3 in a row once this season. That was to begin the year, after losing back-to-back to Brewster and then falling to Harwich. 0-2 down the hill. Fastball. Misses, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bulger at first. Jones at third. Firebirds in those bright red HDMH uniforms trying to add to their 3-0 lead. Calhoun's right toe on the first base side of the rubber. Here comes the 1-2. And he pours a fastball in off the outer edge. Drew Metzdorf has had a interesting route to get to UMass Boston. He spent his first freshman season in 2018 at UMass Amherst. Transferred to Plymouth State University, D3 school, where he was a 2A guy for a couple of seasons. Here's the 2-2. And he swings and misses. Chases a changeup and strikes out. First strikeout for Eric Calhoun. And there's 2 away. Calhoun has a chance to get out of the inning. He has to retire Garrett Gilmet, who just joined the Big 12. Gilmet reached on a fielder's choice back in the 5th. Runners at the corners, 2 out, 3-0. The Orleans Firebirds lead the Whitey Red Sox. Trying to get a win here at Red Wilson in the front half of a home and home. Jones at third, Bulger at first, 2 outs. Calhoun stares in. He kicks the pitch. Changeup misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. And Sam, if Calhoun is able to retire Guillemette, can the Firebirds feel good after having the bases full and nobody out pushing across 3 runs?
I think so. You have bases loaded, nobody out, and all 3 of those runners wind up scoring. You'll take that, especially as we're already in the 6th inning of this game.
1-0. Calhoun deals another change and a big hack from Garrett Guillemette, who misses everything.
Of course, you'll also like if he can punch one into the gap somewhere and get you a couple more runs. Of course, the inning's not over. You still got to get this 3rd out if you're Calhoun.
1 ball and 1 strike. Shadows starting to creep up that third base line as fans murmur about in the outfield. Bulger a lead at first, 1-1. Fastball, and Guillemette swings one and tops one foul down the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Garrett. Coming into this frame, Orleans had 2 hits through the first 5 innings. They have 4 and 3 runs to go along with them in this 6th. Calhoun with the left shoulder of his white uniform, the American flag on it, faces the right-handed bat of Guillemette. Runners to the corners, 2 outs, 3-0 Orleans. Here's the 1-2. Fastball, swinging a foul tap into the glove of the catcher. Gonzalez and back-to-back swinging strikeouts close the books on the top of the 6th here at Red Wilson Field. 4 hits, 3 runs come across, 2 left on, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 3-0. Orleans jumps on the board first here at Red Wilson as they lead YD. Fans, it's time for our 6th inning trivia contest brought to you by Coxswain Media and Pixie 103, Cape Cod's Rock. We'll give you today's trivia question. Answer the question before the next home game by going to redsox.com/trivia. Answer correctly, and you'll be eligible to win an official YD Red Sox game jersey signed by the 2022 Red Sox team. Here's today's trivia question. Before moving to Red Wilson Field, where did the YD Red Sox play their home games? Don't forget to submit your answer at ydredsox.com/trivia. We welcome you into the bottom of the 6th inning, 3-0. The Orleans Firebirds have taken the lead over the YD Red Sox after a 3-run top of the 6th. Bryce Werricker still atop the mound, the best pitcher on Cape in the Eastern Division, trying to keep this a 0 on the board. Just 1 hit today for the YD Red Sox. Scott Pickler and the trainers for YD down the third base line, looking at the left arm of Timothy Carey. He's rubbing it, checking it out, as they're all hanging out down there. And it looks like Carey is A-OK. Into the bottom of the 6th. YD and Orleans battling it out in a home-and-home series. The first leg at Red Wilson. In 2 days, the Red Sox will be at Eldridge after the off day. 9-1-2 due up for the YD Red Sox. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz bringing you this one. It's the right-handed bat of Fernando Gonzalez. Werricker's first pitch down the hill. Gonzalez swings, pokes one into right field. It lands for a base hit. Fernando Gonzalez with a leadoff knock. In the bottom of the 6th inning, here's Homer Bush Jr. And the Red Sox get their 2nd hit of the day against Bryce Werricker and it comes out of the 9-hole. So Homer Bush Jr. digs in. Right-handed batter who is still searching for his first hit today and his first hit against Orleans this summer. The All-Star reserve digs in, taps the plate twice. In the two-tone bat and the bright red batting gloves, he looks towards the red jersey of Werricker. Partly cloudy skies and a light breeze here at Red Wilson. First pitch to the ready. Swing and a miss. Chasing a slider. Homer Bush Jr. down in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Fernando Gonzalez, not a base-stealing threat at first. Did leg out a triple a couple of days ago at Katuitt. 0-1 to Homer. And he drives one down the right field line foul. And a couple of fans and kids go racing after it. Lawn chairs down that right field line and left field line. And, well, if you didn't get here for 4:30 first pitch, Sam, you might not have a spot.
Oh, it's truly packed, Carlo. I went to the bathroom between innings. There are a lot of fans here today.
0-2 to Homer. Here's the pitch. Slider away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Homer Bush Jr. on a tear in his last 9 games, hitting above 400, but has slowed down as of late. Ryan Resus is getting warm in that Firebirds pet. 1-2. Bush uppercuts one on the infield. Coming in, the first baseman, Jones. He calls off the pitcher, Werricker, and Cam Jones makes a letters high catch for out number 1. Here's Robbie Burnett. 1 on, 1 out. 3-0 Orleans leads in the bottom of the 6th. Robbie Burnett, who came here 5 hours ago. 200-mile drive from Pittsfield, playing for the Suns. Left-handed batter looks towards the right arm of the 6'8 Werricker with Gonzalez at first. First pitch home. Fastball misses inside. And up until that Gonzalez hit, Robbie Burnett was the only batter with a hit against Bryce Werricker. A single back in the first. Almost had one in the 4th, but a nice defensive play by the second baseman, Logan Beard. 1-0 to the plate. Fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes. Werricker has been an ace for these Orleans Firebirds. Has only gone 6 innings 1 time. Those were 6 perfect innings. 2-0. Burnett looks at a fastball for a strike that paints the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. As the shadows start to blanket to the infield here at Red Wilson. Gonzalez at first, his hands on his knees, not a base-stealing threat. 2-1. Burnett taps one fouled on the first baseline. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Those 6 innings of perfect baseball would be the front half of a no-hitter, the only one this summer by the Orleans Firebirds staff. Garrett Gilmet, the catcher today, caught that no-hitter. 3-0 Orleans, bottom of the 6th inning on this gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. Thanks so much for spending it with us. 2-2. Burnett looks at a changeup off the outer edge. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Sam, as this outing has gone, the command for Werricker, which was impeccable through the first 4 innings, has started to fade away.
He's still around the zone, but he had a walk in the last inning and another 3-ball count here, which he hadn't had any prior to the walk.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Big hack on a changeup. Burnett strikes out. That's number 4 for Bryce Werricker. And after the leadoff single, he sets down 2 Whitey Red Sox in order. Here's Hayden Schott. 3-0 Orleans lead at the bottom of the 6th with Gonzalez at first. Schott stands quietly in the box. First pitch home. And the lefty pokes one foul down the left field line. No balls and 1 strike.
Hayden Schott loves swinging at the first pitch. We've gotten to know him as a hitter very quickly, playing in his 4th game with YD, and he is a swinger. If you throw it in the middle of his zone early in a count, he will hack, and you saw it there with that first pitch foul.
0-1. Shot, taps one foul off the glove of Guillemette. And it bounces onto the field to play. That's the changeup. No balls and 2 strikes quickly to Hayden. With 2 outs and a runner at first, 3-0. Orleans leads YD. Hayden Schott, who was a first-team All-Ivy League selection this past year. 2-time player under Coach Scott Pickler. Played with him 2 seasons at Cypress Community College. Before that, Hayden went to high school at Culver Military Academy in Illinois, which is a massive military academy in the Midwest. Gonzalez at first. He adjusts his helmet with his left hand after his leadoff single. 2 outs on the board. 3-0 Orleans leads. 0-2. Shot, swings, rolls one on the ground on 3 hops. The second baseman, Logan Beard, underhand flips to the covering shortstop, Urso. They go the short way, and that ends the 6th inning. Well, 1 hit, 1 left on, no runs come across. The Whitey Red Sox can't grab any back after surrendering 3 in the top of the 6th. We go to the 7th here at Red Wilson Field. Sam Lebowitz will take you home. 3-0, Orleans leads YD.
No summer in Whitey Red Sox Nation would be complete without our youth baseball clinics, where boys and girls ages 5 and up can learn the game of baseball and the importance of sportsmanship. Kids get to master the fundamentals of the game and sharpen their skills in a fun baseball clinic taught by Coach Pickler and the future major leaguers on our roster. Next week is the last clinic of the season, so go to whiteyredsox.com/clinics to register now. This year's youth baseball clinics are proudly sponsored by the Salty Dog Group of Keller Williams Realty, MP Sports Cards, and Giordino's Family Restaurant. The Whitey Red Sox and all the kids, thank you. Top of the 7th, we're playing the back third here at Red Wilson Field. About 10 minutes past 6 on your clock as we crawl towards the finish line of this regular season. 3rd game after the end of season All-Star break, with 5 games to play after this one. The Red Sox trying to find their first win after the All-Star break, and it's not looked good for them today. They trail the Firebirds 3-0 as we start the top of the 7th. Tommy Humphrey, Logan Beard, Luke Kiesel for Orleans against Aaron Calhoun. The right-hander deals a fastball that misses a tad low to the left-hand hitting Tommy Humphrey. Humphrey, a switch hitter batting left, holds the bat above his shoulder parallel with the ground. Out of Fresno State, has done mostly pitching this year, but starting as a hitter for the 5th time this summer. The 1-0 misses down and in a fastball that brushes him off the plate a little bit. Humphrey, the DH today, has twice flown out, once to left, once to center. Calhoun tried his best to extinguish a fire that he was forced into in the 6th. 2-0. Changeup misses in the dirt, and the count quickly 3-0 on Humphrey. Bryce Robinson exited with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 6th inning. Calhoun came in, got a fielder's choice ground out that scored the 3rd run of the inning. And then back-to-back strikeouts of Drew Metztorth and Garrett Guillemette got him out of the jam without further damage. 3-0 to Humphrey, taken well upstairs for ball 4. So Calhoun has come out in his 2nd inning of relief and walked his first hitter on 4 pitches.
Not a good start for Aaron Calhoun, and we'll see if he's able to work around it. This Orleans team, Sam, has won just 1 of their last 9 games. They're trying to get back in a rhythm, and a win against the top dogs in the East would definitely be a big morale booster.
Every single game is crucial for these Firebirds. They stand just a point above Chatham coming into play today for last place in the Eastern Division. Here's Logan Beard. He squares around early. The right-hand hitter showing a bunt. And they'll check on the runner at first before Calhoun delivers home, as Humphrey's safe on a head-first slide. Beard today, a strikeout, a single. Again, shows bunt early. Mike Bovey, the third baseman, on the infield grass. The pitch home, he bunts through it for strike one. If you're scoreboard watching around the league, looks like Brewster is still well behind in their game at Stony Brook Elementary. They're losing to Wareham 6-0 in the bottom of the seventh. The other matchup that Red Sox fans will want to keep an eye on out in Bourne at Doran Park. Harwich and Bourne are just underway. They're in the top of the second scoreless. Beard again shows bunt the 0-1. He bunts it up the first baseline. It stays fair. Johnny Long will just go back to the bag and touch it with his foot for the first out. Up to second goes Tommy Humphrey, a sacrifice bunt for Logan Beard. Now a runner on second with one out here in the top of the seventh, with Orleans leading YD 3-0.
And one thing that has been huge to Orleans' success today is execution. They have been able to move runners around, and when they've had opportunities, bring runners in, something that YD struggled with yesterday. Haven't had a whole lot of chances here today. We'll see if that's it for Werricker, and the Red Sox have life.
They had action up in the bullpen behind Werricker in the last half inning, but Werricker, with 6 shutout frames, has only allowed 2 hits. He's been outstanding. Here is Luke Keishel, top of the order for Orleans. Keishel's been on board in 2 of his 3 trips, a walk, a single. He scored amidst the chaos in the 6th, and Calhoun has twice stepped off before delivering a first pitch to him. Hopfee led off the inning with a 4-pitch walk. He stands at second after a sacrifice bunt here with 1 away. Orleans trying to improve upon a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 7th. Calhoun from the first base side of the rubber. He deals to Keishel, a fastball that misses just a bit high. 3 infielders on the pull side for the right-hand hitting Keishel, transferring to Arizona State to be their starting shortstop after a couple of accomplished seasons with San Francisco. Blonde hair poking out of the back of his helmet. A deep crouch and open stance in the right-hand batter's box. His hands held high. The 1-0 is off the fist, foul on the right field line. Braden Montgomery gives it a cursory look, but watches it land untouched. The scores around the rest of the Cape Cod League. Katuitt and Hyannis matching up in a game that's got implications at the top of the Western Division. They're tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 5th at Lowell Park. And the other matchup today is out in Falmouth between Chatham and the Commodores. It's 2-0 Anglers in the bottom of the 1st at Gov Fuller. 1-1. A fastball, a called strike on the outside corner. Keishel stands upright in rejection of the call, but a 1-2 count on him.
Keishel, a single back in the 6th, would come around to score just his 3rd hit over his last 7 games. See if he can ride that momentum.
But a talented hitter, a guy who started the All-Star game as DH for the Eastern Division. 1-2 from Calhoun. Fastball up. Count evens. It's 2-2. Guy who's played just about everywhere for the Firebirds. His offensive role expanded even more than it already was with a couple of key departures. Notably Travis Honeyman, who had been the starting center fielder and leadoff hitter all summer for Kelly Nicholson. He's no longer here. He was a little bit banged up. Runner on second, 1 out. The 2-2. Line towards right center field, cutting across Bush. He's got to play it on a hop. Heading to third and stopping there is Tommy Hopfee as the throw comes in and is cut off by the center fielder Bush. It's a single for Luke Keishel, his 2nd of the game. And the Firebirds, again, the table set for them with runners on the corners and 1 out here in the 7th. I'll try to improve upon a 3-0 lead with J.D. Urso, another right-hand hitter. Urso today is 0 for 2. His last time up, trying to drop down a sacrifice bunt, wound up reaching on a fielder's choice. The Red Sox couldn't get an out on the play. That was a chance for an out at third base. Mike Bovey was ruled off the bag on that one, trying to get the fielder's choice force out at third. University of Tampa standout. Runners in the corners, one out. First pitch, he squares to bunt. Bunts it right back to the pitcher. Calhoun makes the catch on a dive. Throw back to third. Did Bovee catch it? He did. He got screened by the runner. He squeezed it. It's a double play. A squeeze bunt attempt. Urso bunted it on a line back to Calhoun, who made a sprawling, diving, backhanded snap, fired a bullet to Mike Bovee, and gets the double play. And gets out of a 7th inning jam onto the bottom half of this 7th inning. Get up and stretch. Red Sox have work to do. They trail 3-0 to the Firebirds. Hope you stretch. Bottom 7 in what's been a quick-moving but action-packed ball game here at Red Wilson Field. Orleans leading the Whitey Red Sox 3-0, and Whitey comes to bat in the 7th. And Bryce Weriker is back out there, trying to become just the 2nd starting pitcher on Cape Cod this summer to complete 7 full innings. Sean Sullivan did that for Harwich against these Firebirds. That was a little over a week ago on July the 15th. About 2 weeks ago, check that. Braden Montgomery will lead it off, followed by Caden Connor, Johnny Long. First pitch from the right-hander, and the switch hitter batting left, rolls it up the middle, a base hit into center field. So first pitch hitting, Braden Montgomery picks up his first hit of the day and just the 3rd against the 6'8" right-hander, Bryce Weriker, who's been in control pretty much since the onset. And Caden Connor, a left-hand hitter, will step in with a runner on first, nobody out. Red Sox trailing by 3 and running out of time with 3 innings worth of chances left as we're getting going in the bottom of the 7th.
We haven't seen Braden take off at first, but he has good speed. You wonder if he's off and running. Try to put some pressure on the right arm of Garrett Gilmette, who's been a good catcher behind the plate this summer.
Connor's 0 for 2. First pitch to him. He hits it on the ground towards second. Beard can't make the play, and it rolls into right field past his glove. Heading to third and stopping there, Montgomery. Red Sox in business. We'll see how they credit that. Looks like it's going to be an E4 all the way as Beard just couldn't squeeze it. Missed it completely. Caden Connor stands at first. Montgomery stands at third, and it is an E4. The second E4 in this game. The first was a throwing error that allowed Hayden Schott to reach back in the 4th. And with runners on the corners, the tying run comes up, and it's who but the Red Sox team leader in home runs, Johnny Long, who's got 4, right-hand hitter.
And Johnny had a loud batting practice today, a couple of home runs into the treetops.
Connor from first, Montgomery from third, no outs. Red Sox trailing by 3. First pitch, a slider that misses up and away. You start wondering about how long of a leash Bryce Weriker has with the first 2 reaching in this 7th. He has not thrown more than 7 innings, or rather 6 innings in an outing all summer. He's only up to 71 pitches, though. He's been very efficient. 1-0 to Long, a slider that bends in for a strike. Last we checked on the Orleans bullpen, Ryan Risas, the left-hander out of the University of San Diego, was warming. And he is still going at it down the right field line. With a left-hand hitter on deck and Mike Bovey. The 1-1 is in the dirt, knocked around by Gilmet, but no advance by the runners. Didn't get very far away from him, another slider.
And on that ground ball to Beard at second, it looked like Montgomery might have shielded Logan Beard from getting a good look at that ball. Braden ran right in front of the baseball on his way to second base.
2 balls and a strike on its way. Swing and a miss, a slider. Count evens, 2-2. You wonder, Carlo, if maybe Beard rushed that play because he had designs about trying to pivot towards second to start a double play and just whiffed on the ground ball. Even count on Long, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Here it comes. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Long is struck out for the second time today. And a key first out for Weriker.
Very similar situation the Red Sox had yesterday at Wareham. Runners to the corners and nobody out to begin that top of the 9th inning. They could not bring home a run.
Here's Mike Bovey, left-hand hitter. They'll keep Weriker out on the mound. Kelly Nicholson not yet moving to his bullpen. Connor from first, Montgomery from third with 1 out. Red Sox trailing by 3. First pitch to Bovey, a fastball that misses away. Bovey today hit a check swing comebacker and flew out to shallow right. But a chance to make amends despite the 2 unproductive outs. A .274 hitter coming into today, an all-star. 1-0. Changeup misses low. If Bovey can reach, Zach Liu, the on-deck hitter. Another right-hand hitter behind the lefty Bovey. Bovey's got just 6 RBIs on the summer in his 31 games. Overall, a productive summer for the Summit League Player of the Year. Runners on the corners, 1 out. 2-0 to Bovey. He is lined on 1 hop to the shortstop. It eats up J.D. Urso, and everybody's safe. In from third comes Braden Montgomery. Up to second goes Caden Connor. Safe aboard at first is Mike Bovey on what was a difficult play on 1 hop on a smash to J.D. Urso. They're going to give a tough E6 on him. The second error of the inning. Urso tried to get low to field that ball and swiped at it and knocked it up into the air. Here's Zach Liu. A run home in the inning. It's 3-1. Red Sox still trailing. Liu today is 0 for 2. First pitch, a slider on the outside corner. Connor the runner on second. Bovey the runner on first. Both reached on errors. Bovey's drove home a run. With 1 out, 0-1 to Liu. He squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball. Count 1-1. We've seen Zach Liu bunt for hits now twice in the last few games for the Red Sox. Did so yesterday once. He almost had one his last time up. Bryce Weriker threw him out on an outstanding athletic play on a bunt down the third baseline. 2 on, 1 out, a run home. Red Sox trailing by 2. The 1-1 is golfed in the air, out to left center. Hit fairly well. Bulger over. He makes the catch. Back to second and first go Connor and Bovey. That's the second out, a big second out for Weriker.
We'll see if Fernando Gonzalez is coming up. Looked like Cole Carrick was starting to warm. You wonder if Carrick is going to pinch hit.
And looks like he will. Cole Carrick getting loose to the outside portion of the Red Sox dugout. And he will come up to the plate and pinch hit for Fernando Gonzalez. And Gonzalez finishes 1 for 2 today. And Carrick will face a new pitcher, it looks like. Kelly Nicholson is walking out to the mound towards his tall right-hander.
And Kelly smartly waiting until Cole Carrick is announced, so Carrick will have to take an at-bat if Nicholson changes pitchers. I don't know if Kelly's pulling Weriker here, though. He is talking to his group, gives him 3 pats on the chest, a couple of claps and says, go get him. And he's going to let his ace face the best hitter on this Whitey team in Cole Carrick.
Carrick, a .328 hitter. He picked up 3 more hits yesterday in Wareham. Was dealing with a bit of a tight groin, came out of that game late, and was on the bench to start this one. But clearly available. Scott Pickler going to him. Red Sox trailing by a pair here in the 7th inning. The tying runs are on base, and Caden Connor and Mike Bovey, both average runners. Switch hitter batting left. First pitch is taken in the dirt, a changeup. And we've seen Cole Carrick gotten a little aggressive in spots like this, late in games with runners on base and tight ball games. But a nice take on a first pitch changeup to start this at bat. Carrick was an all-star starter for the Red Sox. And a key cog in their offense, the 1-0. Check swing on a ball running away. He did not swing, says the field umpire, Edward McAven.
And an advantage there for YD because McAven's not at third, he's up the middle. And so really he does not have a good angle at all of whether Carrick swung or not, but has to make the call.
2-0 to Carrick. 2 on with 2 out. Red Sox trailing by a pair. The 2-0. Down and in, but grabs the corner, a changeup that fooled Carrick. He was backing out of the zone. Instead, he takes a strike.
And there's a lot of scouts here today for Bryce Worker start. Carrick's been one of the more intriguing players on Cape this summer. This is a big at-bat for Cole and for the Whitey Red Sox with the tying runs on base.
He's ahead 2-1 with 2 on and 2 out. Here it comes. And it's fisted foul right back to the screen. He was out in front of another one. Another changeup from Werricker, and the count 2-2. Werricker has done it efficiently today, not really with the strikeouts. He's got 5. Working with 2 outs here in the 7th. He's already got his longest outing of the summer. Working past the 6th for the first time as an Orleans Firebirds. The 6'8" right-hander against Cole Carrick. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch, time called by Cole Carrick at home plate. Raises the dramatic tension a little bit here in this bottom of the 7th. Carrick, a .328 hitter, only has 1 home run. That came against the Firebirds. That was back on opening day. 2-2. Slider in there, called strike 3 over the outside corner. He backdoored Carrick and works out of the jam. A run home in this 7th, but that's all the Red Sox can muster. They strand 2 in the 7th, and we go on to the 8th. A 3-1 ball game. Orleans leading the Whitey Red Sox. Top of the 8th. It's been quite a ball game here. The Red Sox trailing 3-1 as we've moved quickly. But a 3-run 6th inning for Orleans has paced them thus far. Red Sox got a run back in the bottom of the 7th. Here we are in the top of the 8th. Aaron Calhoun gets 3, 4, and 5 in the Orleans order. Cam Jones, Isaac Humphrey, and Jack Bulger. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez. Wherever you may be, we appreciate you spending your Wednesday evening with us. Jones, a right-hand hitter. 1 for 3 today. Calhoun from the first base side of the rubber, right on right. The slider that misses outside for ball 1. Jones, a two-way standout. First time the Red Sox have seen him as a hitter, but he has pitched 3 times out of the bullpen this summer against YD. But a .322 hitter coming into this game since he made the switch to hit most of the time. The 1-0 is fouled off down the right field line. Count 1-1. Extended a hitting streak to 12 games with his single his last time through. That drove home a pair of runs. RBIs number 4 and 5 for the Georgia State two-way. A rare left-hand thrower, right-hand hitter. 3 infielders on the pull side to him, the 1-1. Fastball at the knees. And the count 1-2. He was a finalist for the John Olerud Two-Way Player of the Year Award. The first Georgia State player to ever be named a finalist for that award. 1-2. This is down and away. And notable is that another finalist for that award is out in the field right now for the Red Sox. Of course, Braden Montgomery. The Stanford Shohei. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jones. On its way. Rolled to the left side. Zach Lou fields it on a high hop on the backhand. Long throw. Johnny Long picks it. Safe. He came off the bag. And aboard at first to start the inning is Cam Jones. Going to be a hit, says the official score.
Johnny Long couldn't keep his foot on the bag there, but he saved 90 more feet for Cam Jones. That ball took a wicked hop up towards his ear, and he had to whip the glove up to keep the ball in front of him. There's no fencing down that right field line, so if the ball gets by Long, it's out of play. And here's Isaac Humphrey, who wants to get some more adhesive on his bat. See how much longer Aaron Calhoun goes. He went 2 innings his last time out against Wareham, and we've seen him go over 3 frames. Still only a 2-run game, but you have to imagine, Sam, if Orleans starts to threaten a little more, that might be it.
Humphrey today is 1 for 3. He dropped down a beautiful bunt single in his last time up. The lone pure left-hand hitter in this Orleans lineup. Out of Louisville. 272 hitter coming into this matchup. That hit was his first against YD this summer. First pitch to him. He squares the bunt again. Pulls it back and takes one low. Forgot to mention, good time to tell you now that the new catcher in the game for the Red Sox is Ryan Proto after Fernando Gonzalez was lifted for a pinch hitter back in the 7th. 1 ball, no strike on Isaac Humphrey. A runner on first, no outs. Top half of the 8th, Orleans leading YD 3-1. The 1-0 popped up. Left field and shallow. Lou out, Caden Connor in. It's Lou to make the catch on the pop-up. Almost overran that ball, but he reaches out and snares it for the first out.
I'm not sure Caden would have had a chance on that ball 2 and left if Zach Lou doesn't range all the way over there. Caden was playing deep. And Zach Lou doing a good job to cover a lot of ground.
From the ACC to the SEC, here comes Jack Bulger. The Vanderbilt utility guy. Not really sure what you want to call Jack Bulger because he's listed as a catcher and an outfielder. Guy who can do it all. He's played a fine left field today, a right-hand hitter with a runner on first, 1 out. First pitch takes a fastball high.
And that utility and athleticism has led him to steal 9 bases this summer. This would not be an easy double play turn for the Whitey Red Sox.
He said coming into his career at Vanderbilt, the defense was something he really wanted to work on because he's hit wherever he's gone. Pick off throw to first, but diving head first back is Cam Jones. And so he's played a lot of outfield for Vanderbilt because he's worked on that athleticism. He's worked on his defensive reps. Runner going on a 1-0. Pitch is high. Proto can't get the handle on it. No throw. And diving head first with a stolen base is Cam Jones. That's his first stolen base of the summer.
That's the second time this summer we've seen Proto unable to throw a base runner around, not because he didn't have the arm strength, but because he didn't have the exchange.
So a runner on second. A 2-0 count to Bulger, who waves that tan bat in a circle in front of him without batting gloves. Here's a 2-0 to him. Swing and a miss out in front of a changeup. And the count 2-1. Jack Bulger, a Bowie, Maryland native who lived just a 3-minute walk from Prince George's Stadium. That's the home of the Bowie Bay Sox, the AA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. A place where he fostered his love of baseball. Jones dancing off second, the 2-1. Popped up, back of home. It's going to get out of play over the press box. Because he was so close to the ballpark and because he was so interested in the sport, the Bay Sox gave him as much access to use the facilities at the ballpark as he wanted. He became good friends with Eric Crozier, who played in 14 games for the Blue Jays in 2004 and worked with the team before a 2-2 a check on second. Essentially, he became a personal coach for Bulger, who would work with him on his hitting as he got older and helped him get into baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a runner on second with 1 out. Here it comes. Fastball misses up and away. Bulger said it was extremely cool to work in a minor league facility. Said it wasn't a 5-star facility or anything like that, but a little bit of a hole in the wall, had a batting cage and a weight rack, a squat rack, everything he needed. He said it brought him back to basics. 3-2 is fouled off. Jones started and stopped from second. Bulger used that experience in the AA facility that was not top of the line, as minor league facilities sometimes tend to be, as a inspiration for his training facilities later in his career. The 3-2 misses low for ball 4. So he works a full count and takes a walk on a changeup. And Scott Pickler's seen enough. He's going to go out and get Ivan Romero. Going to go out and get Aaron Calhoun, and make a pitching change. And we'll see the Red Sox debut of Trajan Meza. Comes out of the bullpen. We'll take a quick break, introduce you to a new right-hander when we come back. the new arm for the Red Sox here with an out and 2 aboard. And the 8th is Trajan Meza. Meza transferring to New Mexico State from Cochise College out in Arizona. Pitches for a YD Red Sox team that's a little beleaguered in the bullpen right now, and he's looking to help them. 2 on with 1 out. First pitch is a slider that bends high. Ryan Proto has to snag it above the head of the right-handed batter, Drew Metzdorf. Metzdorf's had a good day today. He's got a couple of hits. He's also struck out. That was his last time up. Cam Jones singled, an infield single to lead off the inning. He stole second, and Jack Bulger walked with 1 out behind him. Orleans leading 3-1 here in the 8th. 1-0. Bouncing ball, slowly hit foul towards the Red Sox dugout. At Cochise College this year, Meza appeared in 22 games, had an ERA below 3 at 2.99. Started 17 games. In 96 and a third innings, he struck out 133 batters. That's a 12.43 strikeout per 9 ratio. The 1-1. Upstairs. He count 2-1 on Metzdorf. Did walk 44 batters over the course of his 22 appearances. But he kept the baseball in the ballpark. He only allowed 3 home runs all summer in a high-octane offensive environment in the desert. Before a 2-1, he checks on the runner at second, Cam Jones. Orleans trying to extend their lead over these YD Red Sox. We were quickly moving through the first 5 innings. Each team only had 1 hit on the board as we entered the 6th, but Orleans tallied 3 against Bryce Robinson and Aaron Calhoun in that frame. 2-1. Slider misses away from Meza. And the count 3-1. Meza stands about 5'11", 180 pounds on the mound. Right on right here. He's working out of the stretch with 2 runners aboard. Infield and outfield playing pretty much straight up on Drew Metzdorf, the product from UMass Boston. 3-1. Swinging a foul tip in Ryan Proto's glove. A fastball from Meza. 87 miles per hour there from the right-hander out of Sahuarita, Arizona. Cochise College has produced some big leaguers. As a JUCO, Kevin Kuzminoff played for a handful of years in the 2000s. 3-2. Up the middle on 1 hop, fielded by Lou. Underhand flip to second for 1. Relay to first. In time, a double play. Cochise comes. Meza comes out of the bullpen, faces 1 batter, gets 2 outs. The double play ball pushes us along to the bottom of the 8th. The Red Sox trailing by a pair. It's 3-1 Orleans. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Red Wilson Field as the sun begins to set behind Dennis Yarmouth High School here in South Yarmouth. We started about a half hour earlier than we're accustomed to. That's a new change for the Red Sox on the other side of the All-Star break as the sun starts to set a little bit earlier. We get ourselves an extra half hour of sunlight with a 4:30 start time. And by 5:30, we were already halfway through this game. 5 scoreless innings for both starting pitchers, but it kind of went in opposite directions from there. 3 runs for Orleans, knocking Bryce Robison out of the game in the 6th inning. And the Red Sox getting a run in the bottom of the 7th. That's where we stand, a 3-1 game here in the bottom of the 8th, and a new pitcher on the mound for Orleans. Gets the top of the Red Sox order. Homer Bush, followed by Robbie Burnett and Hayden Schott. It's a left-hander out of Elon. It's Cole Reynolds making his 11th appearance for Orleans. Tall left-hander, stands 6'5". First pitch to Bush, a fastball that splits the plate. No balls and a strike. In his 10 outings, 1 was his start. That was against YD, actually, back on June the 22nd here. Rather, June 17th was the start. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Ball running away from Homer Bush. No balls and 2 strikes. In the 10 outings, the ERA is north of 6, 6.63. Bush today's 0 for 3, the 0-2 to him. Up the middle, misses the pitcher, fielded behind the bag by Beard. Long throw on a hop, dug out in time by Cam Jones. A close play at first, but a nice stretch by the two-way standout over at first base. And a strong throw by Logan Beard. 1 away.
Awfully close there at first. Bush, who was known to beat out infield ground balls, unable to get to that one there. And some gripes by some fans here at Red Wilson who didn't agree. But, Sam, you feel like if you're YD, you need to get 1 back, down 2. You don't want to leave it all till the 9th.
Here's Robbie Burnett, left-hand hitter, left on left. First pitch, a half swing and a strike on a fastball upstairs. Burnett in his Red Sox debut, a single. He was robbed of a second hit on an outstanding play by Logan Beard. And a strikeout. No balls and a strike. Fastball outside corner, a dot. The count 0-2. Some Red Sox fans with some loud jeers behind home plate, letting home plate umpire Tim Carey know that they don't agree. Reynolds in his windup, the 0-2. This is down and away. Goes to the backstop.
It's a hostile environment here at Red Wilson Field.
Suddenly, we've had a nice, large, and docile crowd for much of this one. Outfield playing deep on Burnett, who's got some power. 1-2. This is down and away. Another slider, and again, it skips on by Garrett Gilmet. The count evens on Burnett with Hayden Schott, the on-deck hitter, another left-handed hitter. Infield playing Burnett straight up. Guy who hit for some power for the Pittsfield Suns this summer. A home run derby selection. He had 5 home runs for Pittsfield across 36 games. The 2-2. Down the middle, strike 3 called. He got him a fastball. Burnett was looking for something else. And an 80, 90-mile-an-hour fastball that splits the plate. That's the second out for Cole Reynolds here in the 8th inning. Red Sox running out of time, down 3-1.
And now your 2, 3, 4 hitters due up with 2 outs. Not a situation you want to be in if you're the Red Sox.
First one to Schott, left on left, a fastball that missed away. Bryce Werricker went the first 7. Allowed 4 hits, a run, a couple of errors behind him, including one that aided the Red Sox in that 7th. 1-0. Schott grounds it the other way, over the third base bag and down the left field line. It gets by Metzdorf. Schott takes a wide turn at first, but holds on with a single. And wisely so, because the tying run now can come to the plate in the form of Braden Montgomery, who's been hitting for power recently. He has 3 home runs in his last 6 games and will bat as a right-hand hitter from the first time today.
And 2 of those home runs have come in the last 3 games. 2 two-run home run yesterday, a couple days ago here at Wareham, a grand slam. See if Stanford's freshman leader in home runs has the record, can put one over the fence.
Switch hitter batting right with the runner on first, 2 out. First pitch is pulled up the third baseline. This one's foul as it skirts down towards the Red Sox bullpen. 3-1 deficit for YD. Bottom half of the 8th with 2 outs. Still lots of sunlight encompassing most of the outfield. Wind is pretty much quiet today. 0-1, fastball. Outside corner, a strike, and the count quickly 0-2 on Montgomery. Today, Braden's 1 for 3. He scored the lone Red Sox run after leading off the 7th with a bouncing ball single. He's behind 0-2. Runner on first with 2 out. Reynolds, the 0-2. Off the fist, he fouls it off. If Montgomery can reach another left-hand hitter, and Caden Connor will bat.
Reynolds leads this team with his 3 home runs allowed, so he is susceptible to the long ball.
Quick check on first, but diving headfirst is shot. Reynolds barely even stepped off there, just a quick toss over to Cam Jones. Has his sign before an 0-2 again to Montgomery with 2 out. Here it comes. Chopper slowly off the right side of the plate and foul.
Second straight game, Sam, where Braden has come up in a big spot yesterday with runners at the corners and 1 out. The tying run's on base against Wareham today. He is the tying run. In the late stages,
he's a huge batter in this game. The Red Sox will have the bottom half of their lineup due in the 9th if they can't score here. 0-2 again. Taken just off the outside corner, a fastball. Count 1-2. That one barely missed, said Tim Carey, but it missed away from Montgomery, who watched it in all the way. Shot, singled with 2 outs. He's at first. Red Sox down a pair. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Braden Montgomery. And it misses down and in. Another ball, this time an off-speed pitch. Montgomery looks back to Tim Carey and says, "Hey, Blue, that hit me. I got my foot." Carey says, "No, sir, get back in the box for me." Montgomery lets out an exasperated sigh. He'll have to hit. A 2-2 count to him. With a runner on first, 2 out. He's the tying run at home plate. The infield shifts slightly to the pull side. Another 2-2. Swung on and fouled off the right side. A little behind a fastball. Red Sox are trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss. They've come out of the All-Star break stumbling. A blowout loss in Katuitt thanks to 5 errors 2 days ago, and then leaving 11 men on base yesterday in Wareham. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Taken low, a changeup, and the count runs full on the 18th pitch in this inning for Cole Reynolds. And Cam Jones, the first baseman, will play behind Hayden Schott, who has a free start. Caden Connor, the on-deck hitter. Full count to Montgomery, runner on first with 2 out. Schott runs. Swung on and chopped up the 3rd baseline. It's foul. Scott Pickler reaches with it, reaches for it with the bare hand, and the Red Sox field manager can't make the play. The next pitch will be the 10th pitch of this at-bat to Braden Montgomery. The outfield playing just about as deep as they can against the Pac-12 freshman of the year, who hit 18 home runs for the Stanford Cardinal. 3-2 again. Swung on a line up the middle. Beer can't make the play on the backhand. Shot will pull up at second. A single for Braden Montgomery, his 2nd hit today. He's got him from both sides of the plate. The Red Sox have the tying runs on base with 2 out here in the 8th against Cole Reynolds.
great piece of hitting by Montgomery. You see there why he earned the nod of Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, fighting off fastballs, working a full count, and on the 10th pitch, he wins the battle. Let's see if that can be worth it.
Here's Caden Connor, left on left against the Elon product, Cole Reynolds. Caden is 0 for 3 today. He reached on an error his last time, trying to extend an 8-game hitting streak, what probably will be his last chance to do so with 2 on and 2 out. First pitch is swung on and chopped softly towards short, fielded by Urso on a high hop. His throw to first is in time. Almost pulled Cam Jones off the bag into the runner, but he stays on the bag and ends the inning. Consecutive 2-out singles. The Red Sox strand them both. Here in the 8th inning, we go to the 9th. It's 3-1 in favor of the Firebirds. To the 9th we go here at Red Wilson Field. Sam Lebowitz along Carlo Jimenez here up in the press box atop this beautiful, beautiful baseball field in the shadow of South Yarmouth's Dennis Yarmouth High School. Trajan Meza will head back to the mound for YD. He gets Garrett Gilmet, Tommy Humphrey, and Logan Beard, the bottom third of the Orleans lineup, who lead YD 3-1. Here in the 9th. First pitch from Meza. The right-hand hitting Gilmet fouls it off. Gilmet today is 0 for 3. He struck out his last time through. Right-hand hitting catcher who's headed from USC over to be a Texas Longhorn this year. Infield plays him straight up. And Meza's 0-1. Is taken down and in a changeup that floated in towards the back foot of Garrett Gilmet. With his two-toned bat, a black handle and a bright orange Texas Longhorn barrel. 1-1 is fought off foul fastball, and he punched it up over the press box, and the count is 1-2. The Red Sox will have work to do in the bottom of this 9th inning. If Meza can keep the game at just a 2-run deficit for a YD, they'll have Johnny Long, Mike Bovey, and Zack do. The 1-2 is pulled foul towards the Red Sox dugout. Another changeup from Meza. Meza came in with runners at first and second and 1 out in relief of Aaron Calhoun in the 8th inning. Got a double play ground ball from Drew Metzdorf to get him through it. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. A slider running down. And Meza picks up his first strikeout in YD colors.
And it's only been 2 batters, but Meza has looked excellent so far. The double play, the strikeout. Sam, it has not always been easy for guys in their first outing on Cape to pitch well. We've seen a plethora of YD pitchers struggle in their debut. So far, it's not been the case for Meza.
From the first base side of the rubber, he works to Tommy Hoppy, switch hitter batting left. First pitch is put on the ground towards second. Fielded on a backhand high hop by the second baseman Burnett. He misses on the transfer, can't make the throw in time and almost threw it away. Backed up nicely by Ryan Proto. Safe aboard at first is Tommy Hoppy, as Burnett just couldn't handle the transfer and then goosed the throw a little.
They got there with ease. Didn't look like he was in a rush at all, but Burnett not the strongest arm on the infield, and after the fumble, he had to rush.
It is an E4. And it's Nick McClary who will hit for the first time. McClary came in for defense in the last inning. He squares to bunt. Right-hand hitter takes a ball. McClary, the shortstop out of Arizona, has struggled offensively this season. Just a 115 hitter. He's in for Logan Beard. One-0. Taken high, a fastball.
And McClary has not had a lot of success this summer, and especially against these Whitey Red Sox. He's 0 for 7 in his 3 games he's played.
with a runner on first, 1 out, a 2-0 count to him here in the top of the ninth. On its way. Taken in the dirt, gets away from Ryan Proto on a slider up to second. And stopping there is Tommy Humphrey. So a wild pitch uncorked by Meza. And a key insurance run, perhaps, in scoring position for Orleans.
And Wareham able to add insurance yesterday in the bottom of the 8th inning before we head to the final 3 outs for YD. And here, one here would be killer for the YD Red Sox, who then need 2 on to bring the tying run to the plate.
Red Sox have been trailing since the top of the 6th inning. We were scoreless through 5. It's 3-1 and a 3-0 count here. A fastball for a called strike. McClurry, the 5'9" infielder out of Rockland, California, hit .265 in 64 games for the Arizona Wildcats this year. Considered a strong defensive shortstop. That's why he's in this game late for Kelly Nicholson. Ahead in the count, 3-1. With a runner on second, 1 out. He squares to bunt, bunts it foul on the 3-1 pitch. Looks like Sean Gamlin is up and working in the Red Sox bullpen after Gamer got into yesterday's action. Meza still very much a chance to get through this frame. A runner on second with 1 out, a 3-2 count here to Nick McClurry. An action pitch here on its way. Up and in for ball 4. McClurry takes a walk in his first at bat off the bench. And there's 2 on with the top of the Orleans order coming up. Here comes Luke Keishel. We'll see if Scott Pickler wants to make a move with Gamlin warming up in the bullpen.
The error on Burnett proving to be critical here. Instead of 2 outs, maybe Meza is more aggressive with 2 outs and the bases empty, but the runner on Sam, he has to pitch carefully.
Could use another double play ball. He's already gotten 1 in relief. Here's Keishel, first pitch, a slider in for a called strike. Keishel has had a good day. Broke out of his mini slump with a walk and 2 singles in his last 2 at-bats. He's also scored a run today. Right-hand hitter bats in a deep crouch with runners on first and second and 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Meza working hard in the 0-1. Swung on and missed a fastball. They count 0-2 on the all-star Luke Keishel, who started the game on Saturday in Wareham as the DH for the Eastern Division. Transferring to ASU after a couple of accomplished seasons with the University of San Francisco. .305 hitter this year with 8 home runs as a sophomore. 0-2. Up and away, a fastball. Twice a first-team All-West Coast Conference selection in his 2 years for the University of San Francisco.
And he's got connections to that YD dugout. Coach G, longtime assistant there at USF, where Keishel played.
A fine player who's played everywhere for Kelly Nicholson this summer. 1-2. This is down and away, a slider. Couldn't get him to bite. And he's been successful against YD this summer. 7 hits in 17 plate appearances, 17 at-bats, including a pair of homers, 2 of his 4. 2 on with 1 out, top of the 9th. Here in South Yarmouth. Meza, the right-hander, sets above the belt and deals an even count. Up and in, a slider that didn't bend, and it hit him on the upper shoulder. Hit by pitch of Keishel, and now the bases are loaded for these Orleans Firebirds. Here comes J.D. Urso with the sacks full and only 1 out.
Picks coming out, and we might see for the first time this summer a YD Red Sox pitching back-to-back days, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Makes the call to the bullpen. Here comes Gamer.
With the bases loaded, 1 out. Red Sox already trailing by a pair. A big spot for Gamer to come into. He will enter. We'll take a quick break before introducing you to Sean Gamlin. We'll be right back. So Sean Gamlin's got a mess that he inherits here in this top of the ninth. The bases full of Firebirds with only one away in a 3-1 game. Orleans leading the YD Red Sox. And Gamlin gets in to a ball game for the second consecutive day. Sean threw an inning yesterday, through the ninth, gave up an unearned run, and works with the sacks full. And J.D. Urso, a right-hand hitter, to face him with one out. Gamlin along set. The corners are in for YD. The infield up the middle, playing back, hoping for two. And the first pitch misses low, a fastball.
Gamer having to act as the garbage man here today, try to clean things up, Sam, but he struggled with command as of late.
2 walks in that outing last night, had 2 in his previous outing on July 19th against Harwich. He has 15 strikeouts in 10 innings this summer. He needs a strikeout here. 1 ball and no strikes. This is low and again, a fastball. And the count quickly 2-0 from Gamlin to J.D. Urso.
This is a big pitch in the outcome of this game. Bases loaded, 1 out. Gamlin does not want to fall behind 3-0 with nowhere to put Urso.
Urso's 0 for 4 today. Last time up, he bunted into a double play on a fine play by Aaron Calhoun, who was pitching at the time. Ahead in the count, 2-0. It's on its way. Lifted in the air, out to right center, hit fairly well. Sprinting towards the gap is Homer Bush. He calls, he makes the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Tommy Hopfe. Up to third goes Nick McClurry. It's a sacrifice fly, a well-struck one for J.D. Urso. He drives home his 3rd run of the summer. And it's 4-1 Orleans. Brings up Cam Jones with runners on the corners, 2 out. Ryan Proto will flash the signs out in front of home plate. Jones today has twice singled. He's driven in a pair of runs. He's stolen a base. He's 2 for 4 overall. Red Sox getting their first look at this side of his game. A two-way player who was emerged as an offensive star for an Orleans team clinging to a playoff spot right now. They entered today just a point above Chatham in 4th place in the Eastern Division. First pitch to Jones. Misses upstairs, a fastball. The first 4 teams in the division make the playoffs. As it stood right now, Chatham was the only Eastern Division team out of the playoff picture. But that could have flip-flopped today. Orleans has had this game in cruise control through most of the way. They haven't trailed yet today. They lead 4-1. A chance for more. 1-0. Taken, a cutter just off the outside corner, says Tim Carey. Close pitch. Gamlin doesn't get the call. Jones has improved upon a .322 batting average with his 2 for 4 today. 3rd hit would drive home another run. 2-0. This is down and away, a slider, and Gamlin is behind in the count, 3-0. And Sean, if he wants to avoid a walk, he's going to have to give Cam Jones something to hit on 3-0. Infield plays to the pull side on Jones. Burnett, the second baseman, playing up the middle. 3-0. Well away, a fastball. And a 4-pitch free pass for Cam Jones. It loads the bases once again here with 2 out.
5th walk in the last 3 outings for Sean Gamlin. Sam, he had 2 in his previous 7. And it's just been a different Sean Gamlin towards the back half of this summer. But bases loaded again, and if you're YD, you cannot afford another run to come in.
Work behind Gamlin in the bullpen. Another new ad for YD. Sam Borderson, who we haven't seen yet, Wingate right-hander, is up in the bullpen, starting to get loose. Isaac Humphrey bats with the bases loaded, a left-hand hitter. With 2 out, a run home. Gamlin trying to keep it here with Orleans now leading 4-1 in the top of the 9th. Infield plays to the right. First pitch misses outside. Proto couldn't frame that cutter away. And the count 1-0 on Humphrey. And again, Gamlin falling behind a hitter. Gave up the sacrifice fly, then walked his last hitter, Cam Jones. 1-0. Low and in. Cutter. Count 2-0 on Humphrey. Rhode Island native has now thrown 6 in a row out of the strike zone after he fell behind to J.D. Urso 2-0 before giving up a sac fly to him. Two balls, no strikes on Humphrey. It misses low, a fastball.
And Sam, earlier today we were looking at that Wareham game, and Gatemen were up 6-0. Looked like they might have an opportunity to sit down Brewster and make the magic number go down for the White Red Sox, but the Brewster Whitecaps have stormed back. They now have an 8-6 lead, a massive bottom of the 7th inning for Brewster at Stony Brook Field. They put up 7 runs. And all of a sudden, that lead in the top of the Eastern Division, which was so comfortable, starting to shrink again.
The Red Sox still lead the division by 9 points. But a Brewster win and a Red Sox loss would make that 7 points with 5 to play. Would be an improbable finish if Brewster comes back and wins the division. Red Sox still in a very comfortable spot atop the East, but a third straight loss would make you scratch your head a little bit. 3 balls, no strikes to Humphrey. The bases loaded, 2 outs. Here it comes. In the dirt for ball 4. A bases loaded walk. Drives home Nick McClurry. Gamlin has thrown 8 in a row outside of the zone. And it's 5-1 Orleans. The Red Sox bullpen, just as was the case last night, unable to keep this game close. To give their offense a chance in their last at-bat. An insurance run for Wareham last night, really the dagger in that 4-2 loss. And Orleans has tacked on a pair in this 9th inning. A 3-1 lead turns into a 5-1 lead, and still a chance for more. Gamlin will exit as Coach Pickler grabs the baseball from his hand. And we'll see the Red Sox debut of Sam Borderson, the Wingate right-hander. We'll introduce you to him when we come back. Another new arm for the Red Sox and another Red Sox debut. It's Sam Broderson out of Wingate, a Winter Garden, Florida native, makes his first appearance on the mound for YD. A guy who has experience in high leverage. He was Wingate's closer this year. He had 8 saves as a sophomore. Struck out over 14 batters per 9. He inherits a bases-loaded situation with 2 outs in the 9th. Orleans has extended their lead in this 9th inning with a pair of runs. They lead 5-1. He gets Jack Bulger, right-hand hitter out of Vanderbilt, with the sacks full still. Right on right here. First pitch. A little bit high, a fastball. Broderson this year for Wingate was outstanding. An ERA of 2.83 to go along with all those strikeouts. 14.5 Ks per 9 in 47 2/3 innings. 1-0. High fastball again, above the letters, and the count 2-0.
Bulger hit only 5 home runs this past spring at Vanderbilt. Only 11 total extra base hits.
He's got some raw power. He stands at the plate in the right-hand batter's box without batting gloves. 2-0. Up and away, a fastball. And Broderson, who was tasked with coming in to this spot for Sean Gamlin, who threw 8 straight balls and walked his last 2 hitters. He's fallen behind his first hitter, 3-0. He sets on the first base side of the rubber. 3-0. Upstairs for ball 4, another bases loaded walk. Broderson throws 4 straight wide ones to his first hitter, and in from third comes Luke Keishel.
3 runs allowed in this 9th frame, and the wheels falling off for the YD Red Sox, not only tonight, but this summer. This on their way to their 3rd straight loss for just the 2nd time in the summer of 2022, and they have a off day that is much needed.
Here's Drew Metzdorf, first pitch to him. That's down the middle of the strike. And a loud cheer from the fans behind home plate. Lots of fans have gone home. It is now 6-1 Orleans lead. But the fans who are still here are watching in support of a YD Red Sox team that has not had many disappointing outings this summer, but this ball game has gotten away from them late. 6-1 Orleans. 0-1. Slider in the dirt, gets away from Proto, goes to the backstop. It was a swinging strike, but it'll score the run from third as in comes Cam Jones. It's 7-1 Orleans in a 4-run 9th inning on a wild pitch there. Everyone moves up as well. The runner's now at 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. There's a swinging strike from Metzdorf.
And Sam, we came off the 2-day break in the All-Star game thinking, oh, 3 games and then a 1 game off. Seems kind of unnecessary. We've played 7 straight games without a day off this summer. But man, couldn't come quicker for the YD Red Sox.
On its way. Line towards right center field. That's a base hit. That'll score a pair. Cut off in the gap by Braden Montgomery. His throw comes home. It's cut off by the pitcher on the mound. A 2-run single for Drew Metzdorf. He unloads the bases after a wild pitch, a 2-run single, a 6-run 9th inning. It is 9-1 Orleans, and the wheels have officially come off. And what more can you say? This has been an ugly 9th inning. 3 Red Sox pitchers have allowed 6 to score. Here's Garrett Gilmet, who started this inning with a strikeout. First pitch, swing and a miss, a fastball. Metzdorf, his 4th and 5th runs driven home here in his 3rd game with Orleans, have been a difference maker. They'll check on him at first before the 0-1.
He has good speed, too. 17 stolen bases with the Pittsfield Suns.
0-1. Lifted foul on the right field line.
Well, scores around the Cape. You want to hear some, Sam?
Sure, Carlo, give it to me.
Katuitt leading 7-5 over Hyannis. Cavaliers win that one. They're back in first in the Western Division. Chatham still hot as ever, 6-0 over a Falmouth team that's won 7 of their last 10. The Anglers are on top of the Commodores.
0-2. In the dirt, a block by Proto, taken by Gilmet. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's at Arnie Allen. Top of the 6th at Doran Park. Bourne with a 1-0 lead over Harwich. And Brewster with a 8-6 lead. That game in the top of the 9th at Stony Brook. Whitecaps just need a couple more outs to come back down 6-0 and secure a win. If this score holds, the Whitey Red Sox could be the only team today to lose in the East.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Roderson strikes out Gilmet and mercifully ends the top of the 9th inning after 6 Firebirds scored. 3 different Whitey Red Sox pitchers combined for 4 walks and a hit by pitch. 1 hit in the inning. It was Metzdorf's 2-run single. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox trailing by a lot. It's 9-1. If you took a break from this game and joined us after perhaps watching the early stages of this game, I think you'd be surprised to find that Orleans leads these Whitey Red Sox 9-1. Each team was scoreless through 5 as Cole Reynolds pitches to Johnny Long to start the bottom of the 9th, left on right, and the left-hander from Elon misses outside. Things kind of broke down for Bryce Robinson. Orleans scored 3 runs in the 6th inning. Red Sox got 1 back in the 7th, but the 9th inning happened. 1-0 misses outside again to Long, a fastball. The count 2-0 on Johnny. He'll be followed by Mike Bovey and Zach Liu in this bottom of the 9th. 3 Red Sox pitchers pitched in the 9th, and they all rather lost the strike zone. 2-0, big swing and a miss by Long, a fastball. 4 walks, a hit by pitch. Only 1 hit in the inning. It was a 2-run single, and the Red Sox, in a blink of an eye, we're down 9-1. That's where we stand. 2-1. Long takes a strike on the outside corner from Cole Reynolds, who's working his 2nd inning in relief of Bryce Werricker, who worked 7 brilliant innings for these Firebirds. 2-2. Taken at the knees for strike 3 call. Johnny Long lets Tim Carey know that that ball was down before walking back to the Red Sox dugout. The 3rd time Long has struck out today, the 2nd time looking.
We get a pinch hitter. It's going to be Dom Freeberger for Mike Bovey.
Get Freeberger an at-bat in this game before we head into the off day. Freeberger, the 2-way player out of UNC Asheville, heading to UConn to use up his eligibility as a transfer. He's 2 for 6 as a Red Sox on the offensive side. First pitch to him, he takes a changeup away. Freeberger last got in on the offensive side against Katuitt at Lowell Park a couple days ago. Had a hit and a walk in his 2 trips. 1-0 is a strike. That game was a bit of an adventure for him on the defensive side, playing first base, but had a nice showing on the offensive side. Also drove home a run on a sac fly. 1-1. pulled on the ground down the third baseline, just foul. Freeberger almost got one fair into the left field corner. Instead, ruled foul by Edward McGavin.
Update in that Brewster-Wareham game. Top of the ninth, the Gatemen have the bases loaded. So the tying runs are in scoring position. Should they tie,
with only one out, it looks like.
Yeah, YD's chances at an Eastern Division today wouldn't be possible, but definitely help them for in 2 days.
1-2 is low. Count 2-2 on Freeberger, Baltimore, Maryland native. Red Sox certainly hoping Wareham can extend that mini win streak they've got. 2-2. At the knees for strike three called. Again, Reynolds paints the bottom of the strike zone. Tim Carey points to the Red Sox dugout and says, stop, stop. Hearing your jeers all night. Gunnar Antillian will pinch hit for Zach Liu with 2 out, nobody on in the 9th inning. And folks, we have some good news in that Wareham-Brewster game. A 3-run bases clearing triple for Cam Mayer. First one to Antillian. Fouled off. Change the score. Wareham now leads 9-8 in the top of the 9th. What a wild game it looks like they're having over in Brewster.
A good thing they started at 4 o'clock. Get 17 runs of inning in at a lightless field. It's pretty hard to do.
A 1 to Antillian in the New Mexico State product takes low.
But Sam, if you're this YD team, tomorrow has to be a day of reflection and try to rebound, because it has been a free fall since the All-Star break.
1-1. Lifted in the air along the right field line. Humphrey will track this one foul, and it lands untouched. They count 1-2, and the Red Sox are down to their final strike. A mercy that I'm sure they will not mind coming soon. A very difficult back half of this game for YD. The 1-2, a little bit low. Tim Carey lets this one go, and they count 2-2 on Antillian, who's started his YD career for his first 12. Two. Swing and a miss. He got him. A changeup out in front. Antillian strikes out Cole Reynolds strikes out 3 in the opening frame in the 9th inning, And the Red Sox are set aside in this one, a 9-1 final here as the Orleans Firebirds, for the final time at Red Wilson Field, defeat the Red Sox. 9 runs on 9 hits for Orleans with 2 errors, 1 run on 6 hits for the Red Sox with 1. And we welcome you into the broadcast booth. The Red Sox drop all 3 games in this stretch between the All-Star break and tomorrow's off day. And all 3 of them, not the finest showings for the Red Sox. And what did them in today, the bullpen.
Yeah, bullpen struggled, walked a couple with the bases loaded. And you think about this 3-game stretch, Sam, you took on the powerhouse in Katua, but then it was the Wareham team with the worst record on Cape, and an Orleans team that's won 1 of their last 9 games. I mean, these are very winnable games, and the YD Red Sox just can't seem to figure it out. The good news is, if there is any team on Cape that has room for error, it is these Red Sox. They have helped themselves out by winning a bunch of games and keeping that 6-point lead atop the Eastern Division, so they can make these mistakes, but you just got to figure it out before the calendar turns to August 5th.
Yeah, the Red Sox still have plenty of room atop the Eastern Division. Brewster's still currently losing to Wareham. That lead just flipped in the top of the 9th at Stony Brook Elementary just a few minutes ago. The Bourne Braves and the Harwich Mariners are not very deep into that game as well. Both games of interest. The Red Sox hoping that both their Eastern Division rivals lose today to bump the Sox magic number down. If those 2 teams lose, the Red Sox, with a win after the off day at Eldridge Park, would clinch the division. We'll hope to see you there at Eldridge. A 6 p.m. start under the lights over at Orleans. And Carlo Jimenez will have the call for you in the early parts of that one. A 9-1 loss for the Red Sox here today against the Firebirds. An off day tomorrow, then the Red Sox back at it to finish up a split home and home. And we'll see you at Orleans on Friday.